Busy streets and lost time. Gotta rent a car, gonna stay a while. If I don't move ahead, then I get stuck behind. I'm at a friend's place, gonna stick around. The puzzle pieces fit for now. The things you said replaying loud. There are people outside living their lives. Thousands of stories move through time. There's only one face on my mind. All I want is you. All I want is you. There are people outside living their lives. Thousands of stories move through time. There's only one face on my mind. A century long ago, I traded in my halo. Whoever it is that you think I am, I'm still figuring it out. I'm jealous of the people outside, just living their lives. Millions of secrets get lost in the light. Tell me how to reach you, show me a sign. All I want is you. All I want is you. All I want is you. All Happened on its own.
Get up and get loud, folks. It's Championship Sunday for the Rocket League Championship Series Open Qualifier number 2. For split number 1, we are working our way to Copenhagen. At the end of the split, players will play in person for the first time since the World Championship. But we've got 4 teams left here, our top 4. In NA, we are going to be crowning the champion of Open Qualifier 2 by the end of the day. I'm Wavepunk, I got Gibbs, I got Lemon, I got James. Lemon, it's Championship Sunday. How you feeling?
I'm so excited to be here. First Championship Sunday for me, and I know these guys have been through a lot, and it all comes down to this. I know there's big scenarios on the line for getting to the major, so it's going to be an intense day.
This is a big one. I mean, Gibbs, this is maybe not the top 4 we predicted on Thursday, but it's the top 4 we got.
But I kind of love it, right? Because we thought it was a 2-team region in North America, and maybe it is with G2 and Gen G, but that means the door is wide open for those 3 and 4 teams to surprise. One of them will make a grand finals today, OG versus Luminosity, so that one is going to be great to watch. But we still get to see G2 versus Gen G, so that's going to be great too.
This is going to be a wonderful day of Rocket League, folks. And again, we are heading to that first major at the end of the split. We are now officially halfway through split number 1 of RLCS 24 here. We're in that open qualifier number 2. We got one more online open qualifier before we have our teams set here in North America for that major. March 28th through 31st, we're going to Copenhagen. First time the RLCS is coming to Copenhagen. We could not be more excited about it. If you want to be there, make sure you get your tickets. Billetloon.dk, folks. You can buy them all up. There's not many left, though. I'm being told there are not many left, and that's not some sort of scarcity tactic. There's genuinely not very many left. Go get them. So we would love to see you in person there. It's a great experience for everyone involved. Now, we got tons of Rocket League action throughout the course of the week here on twitch.tv/Rocket League. On Wednesdays, you could always catch First Touch at 11 a.m. Pacific. Those boys always with the craziest hot takes, and sometimes they're actually right. We're here on the 18th right now on Sunday, finishing up our North American Open Qualifier number 2. But next week, we're doing the exact same thing, just in Europe. Those ones start at 5 p.m. Central European time. That's kickoff. If you want to catch the pre-show, they have crazy pre-shows over there. Tune in about half an hour before that. You can catch Stumpy and the gang over there having a good time. Leaf is leading that party. We got wonderful stuff coming down the pipe, though. Well, that's next week. Let's talk about today. We have our 4 teams left, so every team guaranteed at least $6,000 and 9 points. We've given them those 9 points right now. They could earn as many as 7 more points from this point on. If they win this match, they are guaranteed top 2. They'll get 12 points and $12,000, and if you win that grand final, 16 points, an extra point on top of the 3 you get for advancing, just for winning the whole thing, and $21,000 here, Gibbs. We got quite the point situation here. Lots of ties. Look at all the 12s.
Yes, one big change from last year to this year in North America. You only get 4 major spots now, and it is going to be a race. Really quick, clinching for G2 and Gen G. That can happen today. G2, all they have to do is beat Gen G, make it to the finals. They will clinch their spot to Copenhagen. Gen G has to win this tournament to clinch. No one else has that ability just yet, but you can put yourself in a great spot. Both Luminosity and OG can kind of move up to that 3rd place spot or even higher. So we'll see how it all plays out, but that qualifier 3 is going to be insane. We have so many teams so close, all the way down to the 10th team in Rebellion with 10 points. It's like a 3-point gap to that 4th place spot. So it's going to be a wild qualifier 3, but we got to wrap up here first.
We do, folks. We've got, again, 4 teams left in our bracket, and that will be what we are playing through today. 2 semifinals and then the grand finals at the end. 3 best of 7s for you to enjoy. Hope you got your snacks ready to go. Yesterday, though, I mean, let's walk viewers through what happened yesterday if they didn't catch all the action here. James, there's one story that is the big story here of Open Qualifier 2, mainly because of how they did in Open Qualifier 1. OG, after going 0-3 in the first Open Qualifier, went 0-2 to start this one, and then have not lost since.
Yeah, to reverse sweep the Swiss and to make it past the first round, that was crazy. And that was a really, really wild series. One, because if that Joria's curse will finally be broken, or if he will, remain cursed. He even tweeted about it, saying, one day I will beat these allegations. Well, it wasn't yesterday. Joria's going to have to keep on going, but JNaps was spectacular. I think he has really proved to everybody that, once you hit 24, mid-20s, it doesn't matter. You can still perform at the highest possible level. He continues to score a monstrous amount of goals. For OG, it's no different. He was just lights out. And OG have seriously put themselves in contention for that 4th spot. They've got, I think, a favorable matchup here in Luminosity. If they play as well as they did yesterday, they might be making it to the finals. I was just so entertained by them. And I just love their play style as well. You have Nolly, one of the most prolific passers in Rocket League, working with Com, who is, he's maybe one of the best disruptors up there with Rlcs. And then JNAP's certified shooter. So watch out for OG. They're going to be gunning for that final spot.
Okay.
And Wave, really quick. Like, I want to talk about, they were 0-5 in the main event, and you called them cooked. You called them done.
I did.
And since then,
Wow.
they have made history. Only 21 times teams have made it to the quarterfinals after going 0-2 in Swiss. Only 2 times have teams actually won that. Never in North America. So OG made history, and they want to just keep piling on those points and making it to a top 4 spot by the end of the weekend.
Okay, but I mean, Lemon, help me here. Like, or just give me your thoughts. Okay, like, that they made it out. They made it to the quarterfinals. Like Gibbs says, no team ever makes it past the quarterfinals when they start 0-2 in the Swiss. But they did it against M80, the team we have big question marks in the bracket. Do you feel like this gave you? I asked Dazzrin this yesterday, but like, do you have more exclamation points for OG now, or more question marks for M80?
Man, I predicted M80. Now I gotta put a formal apology out on social media. Actually, the whole desk went there, so I'm glad we didn't have to go after. But hey, OG, they have their highs and their lows, but can they just stay right in the middle? Can they stay stable? I have more question marks on M80 because they were my dark horse, so I'm more mad about my prediction. But
It hurts though, because M80. We talked to Coach Sathio on G2. He said it's a 3-team region. He clarified later saying M80 is that 3rd team in North America. But they can't win on the weekend. If you can't win on the weekend, you can't beat Europe. You just can't do it. So M80, please go 3-1 in Swiss next time. Just like break that curse early and then go through that quarterfinal run. But they're still in it. They're, I think, in like 5th right now, tied with everyone. So they still have a great chance, but they got to figure this out.
well, the work week is between Monday and Friday. Just clarify.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about some other matches that happened, because that was not even the most exciting match of the day, given the Rocket League that happened here. Lemon, Genji versus SSG. Excellent match of Rocket League yesterday.
Yes, this was the series to watch, rewatch again, and watch again. This is some of the best Rocket League we've seen all of playoffs. Genji take game 1 in a one-sided fashion. That's cool. We're like, oh, it's going to be one of those type of series. But then Space Station come out, shut them out in game 2, and then 3 overtimes later, one lasting over 3 minutes, by the way, they trade punches, and Genji closes out against SSG in the end. But Jack was my favorite player on the pitch, big shooter for this team, 1 hat trick. Talked to us after the match about playing with confidence, staying composed in these intense series, and Genji are expecting to make that 180 against G2, their next opponent. Jack said so himself, and G2 are recognizing that hunger and that hunger to win, so keep an eye on Genji after what we saw.
And poor Space Station, though. They have played in 2 qualifiers. The only teams they've lost to is G2 in the Swiss and then Genji in both of the brackets. So they sit just outside those top 4 as well. So they'll be looking to bounce back. But for Genji, they are weekend warriors. That is when they play. And apparently Jack has been lights out. In Qual 1, he finished number 2 in goals per game. In Qual 2 right now, he's number 1 in goals per game across all players. So he's putting it home. He's putting it in the back of the net. But the true test is today. They get G2 again, where they did not score pretty much at all. So we'll see if they can finally have that offense versus that scary G2 defense.
James, it sounds like if we could just blend Genji and M80, we'd have the perfect team.
I mean,
Gen 80.
what are you blending here? What are you hoping to get? Because, yes.
I think you just get. I think practically, I think you just have a 6-man roster, okay, and you field 3 players on Friday from M80.
You play Jordan on Friday.
Genji on Saturday and Sunday.
I was going to say for the perfect team, all 3 of them are going to have to be French. So,
Okay. Let's enough of this EU bias over here. You're not wrong, but enough of that. Gibbs, what were the top plays of yesterday?
Oh, baby, let's go. I got to bring them up. Here we go. All right, Hoxer. We're going to start number 3 with this brilliant redirect. This is against Genji. I love these redirect plays. He's upfield. He's like, maybe go for butt. Nah. Instead, I'm just going to pop up, hit that bar down almost, and brilliant goal. But this one, first killer. He's going up for a normal aerial. Oh, wait. He's going for the ceiling pitch. Cross court. That should count for 3 goals. The distance on this is insane. You can't go much further back here, but the speed on the pinch, no one can make the save. Hoxer tries, but does not do it. And finally, number one, another pinch play. Nas, and this was game 3 overtime. They were down 2-0 in the series. They absolutely needed this one for M80, and he pulls off the perfect pinch pass out to Jorius. But unfortunately, they still fell anyway in that series, but at least it gave him a shot.
All those games happening on Utopia Dusk, fascinating to me. It was also, I think we had seen the Nas one, but then everything else, we were like, Gibbs, you and I were like, we need more top 3 plays. Are there going to be any top 3 plays? And then literally like 30 seconds later, Hoxer hits the redirect. And then a minute later, First Killer hits the ceiling pitch. We're like, well, we're good. We found
There you
him.
go. Boom.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write it down. No, that was a goal. That was a goal right there. Yep, absolutely. All right. So, great plays yesterday. We've got games to move forward to today, though. Let's start talking about the future, particularly the end of the day. Ally has come back as an official partner of the Rlcs, and they are going to be crowning an MVP at the end of the event today. Who do we think, folks? Who do we think is going to be the MVP at the end of the day? I want you guys to make some predictions here. Not make predictions, just make a case for why you think someone is going to be the MVP. I'll determine at the end who I think is the most right, and then I'll also let Twitch chat vote as well. So Twitch chat, be listening to these conversations. You're going to get a chance to vote here at the end. James, let's start with you. Who you got?
All right, so today we kind of had a theme as well. We were saying who's going to be that dark horse MVP. And for me, I think the dark horse MVP is going to be Chronic. I actually was incredibly impressed with Chronic yesterday. He started out the series when we were questioning Gen G. There's been a bit of criticism about their offense. It can be a little bit stale at times, but he stepped up individually with that game 1 double tap. I think that lit Gen G up on that first game, and he was just lights out from then on. He was making save after save, and one particular, and look at this play here. He goes for the demo. He was really doing it all. Defensively, going for demos, hitting the shots, fakes, passes, everything. Look at that hustle play. He bodies out, boxes out the goalkeeper to get that last goal. And in overtime, I thought he was spectacular as well. Apparently, Jack hit a lot of shots as well, but it was working with Chronic in which he was able to make that happen. So I say Dark Horse MVP for me is going to be Chronic.
Yeah, and that one looks really good because he's got 2 teammates who are apparently Jack and First Killer. So you're almost always going to be like, well, MVP is going to come out of those 2, but Chronic, yeah, that's a fantastic choice for Dark Horse. It's not a favorable team, but because it's Chronic, I feel like that's a great pick, James. Great pick.
Okay. A solid opening argument. Lemon, who would you make the case for?
Well, I think y'all should vote for this one. My ally MVP is Sir Carlos Cheese from Luminosity.
The full name.
I'm using his first name because I
didn't realize his last name was Cheese either.
Cheese. Makes a lot of sense now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a higher case Cheese because he's loud on the field, and you want to get loud when you watch him. And I don't care what he did in Swiss, and that has layers. It's about peaking in playoffs on the weekend. This man has had the monumental task of trying to outshine someone like Rlcs, like Magic Bear, Feed the Bear, this, spam pedals for Rlcs, that. But Rob came up clutch for Cheese. Go Cheese, as a matter of fact. Shout out to my Ghost Rider Hercules. 7 goals, 5 assists. 8 demos. This guy was an absolute menace. I think had the series of his career against NRG. And if Cheese peaks like that, like he did against NRG, against his next opponent, I think LG are going to be champions, and that's guaranteed.
That's a very solid argument, though. I will say my my kind of dad joke meter is full right now, Gibbs. So you just
I don't know.
know.
Bonus points on puns. Like bonus points on puns. Like I like that.
I don't know.
Well.
Bonus
But
points,
guys,
yeah.
My courtroom. This is my courtroom right now. So you're walking up the ice, Gibbs. Who you got?
Okay, so the ultimate dark horse, and you know, we need to win this game, right? So we're gonna go with the ultimate dark horse, and I'm gonna bring up a whiteboard here. We're gonna go with you, the viewer here. Chat is beautiful, all right? You guys are the true MVPs, the true ally MVPs for hanging out with us, watching some great North American Rocket League, and honestly, you guys look beautiful. Like, I see you on your keyboards about to type #me, because I want to win this, and you guys look great. You guys look fantastic, and you're gonna be here all weekend
I've
long.
had enough. I've had enough of this. Can we just please?
To me, it just screams that Gibbs forgot to do his homework. He showed up just in time to make it to the broadcast. He was like, I had to have a dark horse MVP. Oh, I'll go with
He was
me.
so no. To be completely real with you, Chad, he was so excited about this bit. For like, he was talking about, I got a bit for tomorrow's show. I got a bit, but it's gonna be great. I'm gonna have a great time. That's what he came up with, is just pandering to Chad.
Wait, y'all thought I was corny? That is
Yeah, that was-
crazy. I showed up with numbers. This guy had a whiteboard.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, you were a Senate courtroom as far as I'm concerned.
To make matters worse, Blake, too, I will say that he had all day and all night
so long to make it better.
Draw something on that whiteboard. And he had
back highlights?
It looked like chicken scratch.
Okay.
I mean, put some effort into it, Gibbs. Give
Bring
me a
him
break.
back. Bring him back. It's fine. We could.
Do we have to?
Yes, I think contractually we
see
have.
the
Here,
whiteboard again?
whoa.
Can I see the whiteboard again? Can you just let me see how good the penmanship was?
I have terrible handwriting. All
Let me
right, I
just
got
see.
terrible. Like,
So long to make
You
it
had
better.
24 hours, and that was what you made?
So I also Googled beautiful because I didn't want to mess it up. There's a lot of vowels in there that I was like, I can't mess up the spelling here. But
Personally,
all right,
I
here we
think
go.
for me, if it's for me as the judge, I think Lemon wins this one. But let's see how chat feels about it. Hashtag
I don't
chronic,
know,
hashtag
chat.
cheese, hashtag me.
Me? What is me?
It's me. They're the ones typing it.
It's for them.
Oh, okay,
they're
all right,
voting for
all right.
themselves. Come
Gotcha.
on.
Yeah, I wonder
dairy
who they're gonna vote
lovers.
for.
Don't vote for yourself. Don't be cringe, chat.
Come on, hashtag.
Vote for someone who did
It
something.
looks like it says time, Gibbs.
Gibbs was very confident that he was
I have
going to win
terrible
as
handwriting.
well. I will say.
I'm
He
very
was
confident.
He,
I'm
he
very
thinks he's the chat whisperer. So
I mean,
Oh,
I'm,
no.
what does that even
he's-
say?
It said hashtag me.
Oh,
hashtag-
hashtag me. I
it
thought
kind
that's
of looked like it
But
said.
it's hashtag you, technically, because it's not you, Gibbs.
Okay.
I'm just telling them what to type because they look beautiful while they're typing. It's only 3 letters, or 2 letters and a thing.
It is,
So, you know.
in chat, it is the dark horse MVP. That's why nobody brought up anyone from G2, because they are not dark horses.
Sure.
They are very, very bright, incandescent, luminescent
And with
horses.
G2, I do feel like because their team defense is so good, it's really going to come down to whoever pops off today. I feel like we'll have a chance to win that MVP. So I think that.
I think it will be beast mode if it's anybody on G2. Honestly.
Okay.
I think we're
Well,
cooking, honestly.
We have the final results in. We have the final results in here. Yes, chat did vote for themselves with 52% of the vote. If we remove the anomalous, terrible fan vote situation, Cheese came in second. So congratulations, Lemon, on your what I'm going to consider a conclusive victory here.
Silver
Chat,
medal.
Always vote for
silver medal,
themselves.
you know.
No. Okay, let's move on from this travesty of a segment and talk about the rest of the world, okay? Because we are not the only Rocket League happening. There is Rocket League happening across the spectrum, across the nations, across the continents here. Middle East, Northern Africa, Lemon, what went down this week?
Ooh. Yeah. Rule 1 and Team Falcons go at it again. Sorry, I was just relishing in the victory. Falcons won the first qualifier, very one-sided fashion. Gap between these two teams. We need to understand the power level of these rosters. We need some more respect for Mina. You could say that Rule 1 have probably the most respected player in Mina, in Nopo, and Falcons have number 2, 3, 4. They're just an all-around team, star-studded. Significant gap between these two until now. This qualifier was nuts, went all the way to Game 7. Rule 1 have caught up to Falcons. They still lost when it went to Game 7. And what was crazy is that Rule 1 went to an early timeout in Game 3 after dropping 2 games, as you should. And then after that timeout, they started shutting out the Falcons. They only let in 1 goal in 3 games. And after an exciting turn of events, this went back and forth. Falcons regained their composure and closed out the series in the end. And Falcons win their second qualifier. But we can't say this is a one-team region anymore. It's very G2 Gen G, where we are starting to see Rule 1 get closer to their peak. And now that Mina's sending 2 teams, these are the 2 to watch.
And that's the important part. They're sending 2 teams now to the major. So Falcons, because they won both qualifiers, sure, Rule 1 is very close in points, but Falcons don't have to worry about just one team going. They have clinched their spot to Copenhagen, so congrats to them. They can take it a little easy in qualifier 3, obviously try and win it anyway, but they don't have to worry about the points. They are in.
They are in, but the extra prize money per event there, so they obviously
course.
still want to get first place there. Should still be a very competitive third qualifier there. James, what's happening down under?
Well, pure domination. Power has been unstoppable. And just listen to this stat. On Championship Sunday, they are 24 game wins and 1 game loss. This event, they did not lose a single game on Championship Sunday. We have not seen this level of domination in quite some time, if ever, in OCE with this format. It's unbelievable the consistency that they've had. And also, shout out to Torsos, who's 23. He is the J-Naps of OCE. He's been a part of OCE history on the Chiefs, on Alpha Sydney, just making his mark felt, and he's not done yet. He is still going, and this team in Power really wants to make you a believer in this region that has been struggling internationally. Banana Head, his rise on the Pioneers, teaming up with Torsos, the most famous player in OCE history. It makes you a believer, and honestly, Fever's no slouch either. Watch out for him. Power, we're powerful.
And again,
Okay.
really quick, 2 qualifier wins. Power, you have clinched your spot to Copenhagen as well. So we know 2 teams that are going so far away.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like OCE, there's definitely a strong front runner there. What's going on over in APAC here, Gibbs?
It's chaos. It's absolutely chaos. It was very confusing. Qualifier 1, the Gaming Gladiators, probably your favorites coming in. They lose in the top 4 round to Elevate, but they get redemption here. That 4-0 was absolutely huge. And then LA coming out of nowhere, the 8th seed, making it all the way to the grand final. So Gaming Gladiators, Virtuoso, Realize, and Max, they are the favorites in APAC, and they showed it in this grand finals. A very comfortable 4-1 win. It was so comfortable that the team of LA Signal, they made a roster move 1 hour after losing the grand final. So they forfeit their points already. They're already LFT. They're like, we can't catch them at all. But it makes the point race incredibly tight because Gaming Gladiators and Elevate, they both have 1 top 4 finish and 1 regional win. So they are tied for 1 major spot going into that qualifier 3. So it's going to come down to who wins that final tournament, if one of them does win it. But it's going to be a fun race. Virtuoso is just a man on a mission. When he plays in APAC, he is unbeatable. He led all the categories in the 22-23 season. He was involved in 2.5 goals per game throughout this tournament. So he's putting up historic numbers yet again. It seems like Gaming Gladiators are back to their rightful spot at number 1. But they are tied in points, so we'll have to see how it all plays out in Qualifier 3.
Okay, exciting action happening around the world here. Also, Sub-Saharan Africa, they just finished up their second qualifier. A repeat of the first qualifier, Limitless versus Young Money Clan in the finals. Limitless, they only lost 3 games, 0 matches. They went undefeated in the first qualifier. They had 3 games in that qualifier. They doubled down and improved on it in this one, only dropping 2 games. They've lost 5 games in RLCS. Young Money Clan's made it to the finals against them twice now, but have only been able to take a game off of them each time. So we'll see if anybody can match them here, but Limitless dominating Sub-Saharan Africa right now, Gibbs.
Yeah, and they only get 1 major spot as well. They do get a major spot now, so that is very important. So we'll see if Limitless, all they'll need is to make it to the grand finals to clinch their spot next time around. So we'll see if they can do it, but you never know because it's open qualifiers, so they could go out on day 1. Who knows?
Anything can happen here, folks. Make sure you keep it tuned to the Rocket League social media so you can keep track of all of the regions as they're happening there. Make sure you are fully equipped and ready for that major when all the teams will be blending at the end. Let's talk about the match that we got kicking off here today, though. 5 minutes and 35 seconds till we get to it. We've got 2 semifinals to go through, and then we'll play the grand finals at the end. We will play that grand finals. That's the last match of the day. We got 2 matches before that, though. So G2 versus Gen G will be our second match. Following the first match here that will be kicking off in just over 5 minutes. OG Esports versus Luminosity going to be our first match of the day. And many have been speculating that this is a match of futility. You will win this, congratulations. You're losing to whoever comes from the top. But that is definitely not how any of these teams are approaching this, Lemon. Where do you want to start?
It's just Luminosity. It's consistency versus a team on the rise, and Luminosity have shown consistency, you know, been up and down against NRG, but regardless, they bounced back from that. I think Luminosity are the favorites to make the grand finals from the slower side of the bracket, and OG will be a stepping stone to that. This is their qualifier to win, in my opinion, for all the hard work and fast improvements that they made. They went from being swept by NRG to demolishing them. Their offensive output and isn't just based on a single threat, no matter if I'm, hyping up Cheese and stuff like that. This team is fluid, it's aggressive, they boost starve their opponent if they're ahead, and they just never stop shooting. Go watch that NRG match if you want to see Luminosity start to reach their peak. If they play like that, OG are in trouble.
But Com's got to wake up. That was the longest yawn I've seen on camera, maybe ever. So, OG, wake up. It's time to play. You got to make it to the grand finals, be in that top 4 conversation. That is what you need. But Luminosity, they have turned it around. Qualifier 1, they were the 4th worst defense in the entire tournament. Now they are a top 5 defense, and that includes them kind of playing with their food through Swiss. They had a lot of weird scores where they won like 8-3. So I bet a lot of those games they probably could have gave up a lot less goals, but they already blew them out, so they didn't even care. So they are much better on the defensive side now, but you got to watch out because OG is going to come out with those demos. We have, of course, Com. He had more than 4 demos per game in the quarterfinals, but Nolly as well, 3 demos per game. So they're going to be looking to disrupt the Luminosity defense. Will it work? Will Luminosity do the same thing? Because they're going to demo as well. So it's going to be lots of explosions on the field, James.
Oh, certainly. And this is an interesting matchup because we've seen them go head-to-head before. I watched this matchup before OG was OG back when they were Torment's Minions in the final draw event, and Luminosity got clobbered. But then Luminosity and Bandits on Wheels were able to get some revenge, but this is where it really matters, this main stage. And this is a huge matchup, huge for both teams. They are going to move into that favorite for the 3rd spot, giving themselves so much of an advantage to make a major. And I think both of these teams, a major would be huge. And this is no disrespect to OG. And the Offs team kind of felt like when it came together that it was a bit of a leftover team. People were wondering, where did JNAPS even go? Is he still around? And then all of a sudden they announced this team. Com got abandoned by Daniel in Beast Mode, finds this team with Nolly. And so this to me is a huge redemption series for both of these teams. They have a lot to prove. People are talking about how, North America is just a 2-team region. Well, these teams are the teams that are fighting to make that not true. They would be the one in that 3rd spot. And so I think both of these teams, a lot to prove that they're not just another team that's trying to make it into the top, but they are at the top. They can take down G2. They can take down Gen G. And this is the first big step.
I mean, you talk about this team being kind of a leftover team just built from the ashes of other rosters, but the pros power ranked them, Gibbs. We talk about this all the time.
Yep.
They power ranked them 4th before the beginning of the season. And then they have such an abysmal start to the season that all of us, the non-professional players, started to undervalue them, started to underestimate them, started to say that we wrote them off. Now, do you think the pros, you think there's any chance Luminosity is underestimating OG coming into this match?
Yeah, so I wonder to the pros, who is the favorites here at this point? Because I think a lot of people saw OG as that 4th best team, and they finally showed it. So are they now the favorites in this matchup versus a Luminosity squad that was right below them, probably around 5-ish? So they could be honestly favorites at this point. But Luminosity, I don't think that they're going to rate them low. They know that these are very talented players. They've been around the scene forever. So, tons of veterans on the field here. So they will know what they are getting into. It just comes down to who's going to execute today, because we've seen both these teams at times have incredibly rough runs at it. We saw Luminosity, they went 3-2 in Swiss, and OG went 3-2 in Swiss. So they are vulnerable. They have bad series. You can't have it here today.
Okay, so well, folks, let us know who you think is going to be the winner here in chat. We're excited to see how this match gets going. I mean, I know Cheese was your MVP, your dark horse MVP here, Lemon, but if we're looking at OG, if we're favoring Luminosity for this matchup, what is the recipe for success? Who are you looking at to take it home if OG is going to be able to take it to Luminosity?
My favorite Canadian on the team, of course. I gotta be a smidge biased for the 3 Canadians in all of our LCS. But yeah, I think JNAPS proved that. The knapsack. We needed him to become the knapsack for OG to pop off, and he did just that. Of course, I said that Noli maybe has the highest ceiling on this team, but everyone needs to have just high output, a good performance, and Calm has to be that disruptor that opens up the gaps.
We'll see. Can they use the disruption, or does the disruption leave the defense open on the backside? Chat, hashtag LG, hashtag OG. Let us know how you feel. I know you guys already are. You can read. How are we feeling out here on the desk? We all predicted against OG, against M80, and then we all were wrong. And literally no one except for me learned from this lesson. Okay, cool. Got it. Love it.
It's hard to know how consistent like OG is right now, right? Because like they did start 0-2 in that Swiss. They did battle out of it. They took down M80 and they look great. But Luminosity, I think, has been more consistent overall. So I think I would give them the slight edge. I really hope we see Champions Field, though. We haven't seen it yet. And I really hope we do see that because we've had a lot of 4-0s, 4-1. So I'm hoping that this one goes all the way there. I do. While I went with OG on this matchup, I do think that the first few games are going to be kind of the way the rest of the series go. Whoever wins game 2, I think, is probably going to take care of the series. That's usually how it goes. But if I would love for this to be a consistent series, for it to go all the way to game 7, folks. The Luminosity, the favorite on the desks, they're the favorites in chat as well. Can OG cause yet another upset and get some respect on their name here, folks? We got the first match of Championship Sunday. It's Luminosity versus OG Esports.
The OG redemption arc continues, but now they run into a white-hot Luminosity squad averaging over 3 goals a game. Can OG keep up with this lightning-quick offense?
Big situation here. Semifinals, major conversation. A win here puts both teams in a really good spot. Most teams are looking for Luminosity to win, but you cannot deny OG have shown up here in playoffs so far. How long will this run continue?
Luminosity coming in averaging 3.3 goals a game, which is just astronomical, but OG is the 3rd hottest offense in the tournament. So what does that mean? Probably expect a bunch of 1-0, 2-1 games. Here goes JNaps diving in. Calm kind of checks him into the boards as well. So now Magic Bear will try and bring it around the corner. That doesn't work out. And Cheese making sure to get to that midfield boost ahead of Calm. But of course, in typical Calm fashion, he takes out Rlcs. Magic Bear coming in with a flip reset. Noli the initial save. And then Calm up there to stop Cheese.
Luminosity, though, already strong here offensively, forcing a couple of mistakes on the side of OG, a little bit of panic touches, but they haven't been able to find the back of the net. OG have held on so far, and they're trying to get out so they can get more boosted up. Magic Bear will take control of this. Plays this really well. You see JNaps also trying to intervene, but Noli will get the cut away. Ball in the orange half again is OG trying to really get something going here on offense. That's a big pinch, but it'll be Magic Bear who has to dive for the save.
You see teams try that about a dozen times a game, it feels like, or at least in a series, and they never convert. That one on target. Good save by Magic Bear. Now Rlcs with Luminosity not really spaced out very much. They're not breaking out of the zone very quickly. Rlcs will try and get to this. He does, just ahead of JNaps. And then Cheese running onto one through the demolition by Rlcs, but still nothing brewing from that as JNaps avoids Rlcs, sweeps that out to the corner. Magic Bear waiting patiently. The pass doesn't really find him. He's got to dive in for it. Cheese has to wait as well. And OG right now doing a good job slowing down Luminosity, but not good enough. Cheese converts yet again.
Magic Bear just staying on top of the ball, forces 2 out. Calm tries for the bump to slow down Cheese, can't connect. And Cheese takes the lane, banks the shot. First goal for Luminosity as they get things started off, but for OG, it's really got to be cleaning things up on that back end. They are giving Luminosity a lot of time in their half.
The tournament's leading scorer scores first. Of course, he's had a few more games than someone like apparently Jack, who has more goals per game. Calm in an awkward spot. Gets past Cheese, but that's all he does. JNaps finishes the effort, getting that ball central, looking for any teammates, and instead he has to give it up. Now Calm, deep in his own territory. Cheese bearing down on him, and now Rlcs waiting very patiently. Didn't dive after that, forced Noli to play around him. And of course, that works out for Luminosity. He's not able to keep possession. Rlcs now brings this central, but nobody's there. Well read by OG, and then
open net
deleted off the field. Open net, thanks to the demo. Cheese has another.
Dim on the back end sets this one up. You see Noli just trying to get that initial touch to slow things down. But with JNaps gone, the net is open for the taking. Another goal for Cheese here. He's been just leading the offense for Luminosity. This one kind of free thanks to a little bit of help, but a goal's a goal. 2-0.
By hook or by crook, they will take whatever they can get with as hot as OG has been. This kind of miraculous run. I think miracle may be a bit of a misnomer. I saw that word used quite a bit on the pre-show. We know how good this team is, and JNaps will score here as Gom centers and the defense just gets completely caught flat-footed.
This is just really calm, just becoming a nuisance. Even though he doesn't make contact, he gets a bump on Reynolds, enough separation, and JNaps strikes. You got to be careful. If he starts to get going, could change the way this game turns. 2 minutes to go, lots of time for OG to settle in.
With as volatile as this format is, a team that's power ranked 4th by their peers. And another demo almost opens things up as Cheese will bring it to the corner. But a team that was expected to be one of the top 4 teams by the other pros in North America, having one bad event and then coming back and maybe winning the next, shouldn't be that much of a surprise. You look at how things have gone around the world, and consistency has not really been a thing. Here's Noli through the corner. He's got a teammate coming mid, but JNaps couldn't jump up for that. That pass had a lot of mustard on it, and now Magic Bear will boom it away. Outlet pass, he had to try and follow that himself. But some of these balls getting too far away from Luminosity players. It's almost surprising that they have the 2 goals they have. They haven't really kept possession as much as you'd like. Oh, what a pick by JNaps, and Reynolds with the save.
You're right. It definitely need to see more control defensively. I mean, Reynolds, though, he'll be able to get this, but the ball gets away from him, so now he has to watch calm. Good cut. Cheese trying to put the shot on, but no, good save to deny that one. Luminosity now trying to ramp up here. They had a good opportunity, great field possession. And they're forcing OG. I mean, JNaps is up in the blue corner taking boost. Calm, though. Lots of time, lots of control. JNaps trying to assist. Nolly will pick this one up, puts it towards the right wall, looks for the redirect, but Magic Bear, great challenge. Gonna be late to the second one, though. JNaps, great controls. He tries to get it mid. Wasn't able to find the bump. Luminosity breaking out. Chance here for them to submit the game if they can get this one through. Cheese plays that one high. Noli just able to make it in time. Time ticking down. OG, they got to get moving.
You gotta get moving. They're at least going the right way, but Magic Bear just ahead of Noli. JNaps is the only one back. Cheese taken out by Noli. They've got to work downfield now. 3 seconds left. Reynolds stalling, delaying. JNaps does all he can to keep this in the air, but Noli's not going to be able to. Oh, he does, just barely.
Oh, not the best.
Can he run onto this? Yes. Calm to the rescue. Surely this will touch down soon, and JNaps did all he could, but Luminosity hangs on.
Hangs on is a good way to describe that, too, because except for a couple of opportunities in the end, Luminosity were kind of slowing down, and you saw OG ramp up with a little bit of the free space that they got. Luminosity able to turn it around for the most part towards the end, definitely quickening up the pace. I believe we got into like the last 30 seconds or so, but have to be careful not to let your foot off the gas. This one, though, as we take a look at our Mobile for One high-performance replay, was pretty high performance on Cheese. Cheese individually outshot OG. He had 7 that game, a grand total of 10 shots from LG total, as offense did really seem like the name of the game there.
Now, offense has been the name of the game for Luminosity Gaming. I mean, they have tried to get by not just keeping opponents off the scoreboard, but outscoring them in shootouts as it has worked out, where OG has limited opportunities for the opposition. That's 7 shots a game. That's what they average as a team, allowed. Problem is, Cheese got that all by himself. You mentioned it, total of 10 shots for LG. Not gonna be sustainable for OG. They gotta really tighten things up defensively as we go into game 2 now at the iconic DFH Stadium. And Reynolds cut off at midfield. Here comes Noli. Calm down in front, and he scores!
That's so well played by Noli as well here. Takes the opportunity, reads where the defense is, says, okay, I can afford to push this one down to the right side. Calm places the shot perfectly. Beautiful control and team play by OG.
That's the OG that everybody expected to see. Score early and maybe score often. Kong gonna have another look at it. Magic Bear stayed with him, and then that goes off the post. Cheese had the angle, and then he stops that rebound effort from Noli. Now JNaps, decoy as Calm takes another shot, and that one's saved away as well. Lots of demos on the backside, but nothing else opening up here for OG.
See, OG though, I mean, strong offensive presence here now. Even JNaps there, that big miss, but Cheese, great interception to cut it out. Should be an open net. He's not gonna miss that one. Good read on the play there. You see JNaps trying to get, like, he doesn't make contact. Calm goes up, either a fake or whiff, whatever you call it. Cheese cut it out and paid up big time for them. Tied up ball game here. Is Luminosity able to get one back quick?
Based on how they've played this first minute, it definitely looked like an intended fake that was just completely blown up as Cheese read it the whole way. Now Cheese right there at Calm. So we're right back to square one here after the first minute. No advantage either side. JNaps just around Magic Bear, but this is all for Cheese, who is the last guy G2 OG wants to see on the ball. Goes Calm now with JNaps in behind him. Reynolds slowing things down. He'll grab that midfield boost. He's going to have to get back in a hurry as Cheese makes another save. What was it? Lemon Kiwi, I think, said Cheese was her MVP. Hard to argue against it right now. He has done everything right now for LG.
Yeah, he's got, well, he had the only saves until Reynolds picked up that one now. Reynolds in a 1v1 against Calm, looking for the air dribble, but Calm, great save out. Cheese won't be able to get to this one, but still trying to control it, looking for a back pass to Magic Bear, and it works out here for the moment. Another good goal line save from Cheese, all over the field. Like you said, offensively and defensively, he's been big for Luminosity's success.
Oh, the big Cheese here, beaten out by JNaps. Noli can run onto it. JNaps ahead, but he can't catch up to that ball. And Magic Bear sweeps it away. That was dangerous for LG. Nobody for OG able to get onto it. Now it's JNaps again. From the skies, going head hunting instead. So too was Calm, but then nobody was able to play the ball, so that kind of fizzled out. And now Magic Bear, despite the demo on Reynolds, can move downfield, but only as far as Jacob Natman.
JNaps trying to play slow. Good read on Cheese to be able to block that away before it becomes something more. Oh, big miss, and Noli, wait, no, Magic Bear able to recover that in time after missing the read initially on the back wall. Great from Magic to keep that play alive. Noli had a pretty strong shot. Thought that one was going in. LG, though, still with some fight. Here's Cheese, lots of control, identifies the defense, has the flip, good 50, but no one able to follow up here, and OG can clear to the corner.
What else can Magic Bear do here? They're trying to keep the pressure on one of the more sustained attacks, perhaps, out of LG, but Cheese has to peel off, and now it's going to be Reynolds. Cheese still lurking in the play. Out of the corner, Magic Bear screened off by Calm running downfield, but he will turn on this, picked his spot, and JNaps met him there. Another opportunity. Cheese misses high. Oh, he's human after all. One that he'd love to have back. Should have converted. 90 seconds left. Noli repels that effort, and Cheese will play it across where Reynolds was waiting, and he has that as well. 2-on-2. Reynolds, Magic Bear against Calm and Noli, and it's Magic Bear who gets his first.
Beautiful control there initially from Reynolds. Faked the ball out to get possession. Went for the pass out. Got the bump on Noli. Set up Magic Bear for the lane. And he banked the shot. Luminosity, when they are in that offensive front, you have to keep your head on a swivel. They're so effective.
Both teams averaging around 3 goals a game. And what do we get? A couple of 2-1 games, and then Noli happy to be downfield. Right place, right time as he turns around here. Great challenge by JNaps.
Yeah, that's big. No one back home. You already saw Magic Bear initially try to set up the pass, so once the cutout happens, Noli in the perfect spot, and we're back tied up.
It's another one that Luminosity kind of going to be kicking themselves for. Demo on the backside by Magic Bear, but Noli plays it way downfield, so that nullifies the demo. And now Cheese again, given some time and space. He runs through Calm.
Oh, she's got a bump.
Bear, tough.
Oh, no.
Can't score on the near side. Another one that LG is going to want to have back, and they may pay the price for it. Calm is coming up, and he doesn't have anything to do with that ball. No teammates to pass to. Now he can at least try to keep this central. Got a piece of Rlcs, but Magic Bear clears it out with 30.
Cheese. Oh, Magic Bear was trying to get that demo. You see Cheese now taking that lead block roll. Rlcs wants to play off of it. Not really the best challenge for him to make. Instead, wants to play from the own back end. Has to be a little bit careful. You see JNAP's lurking. He's going to take that corner boost in the back. Calm. Great initial touch. Has another JNAP shot. Oh, Magic Bear.
Wow.
Beautiful block out. Final 10 seconds. Luminosity want to make the push, but OG is closing the door. Chance here. Calm, no, it's demoed. JNAPs is demoed. Rlcs trying to keep this one on the hook. Luminosity will not be able to capitalize. We have OT in game 2.
In a game that has felt like a comedy of errors for Luminosity, it's a stellar play from Magic Bear that keeps us going.
Double?
And now the double lined up, but Calm is there, well read. Now Rlcs just got it up to nobody in particular. JNAPs gratefully claims it. And now Calm, just off a full pickup at midfield, trying to work his way through traffic. Everybody was up. That was never getting through, but now Nolly, second effort. Rlcs stuffs him as well.
JNAPs had to struggle. That is not the best touch, but he got the flip, so it throws off Cheese. Magic Bear opted to control. Again, not the best first touch. Nolly's able to take it away from him. Cheese has a chance, and you're starting to see individual prowess come out, trying to thin the defense as much as possible. JNAPs again, he's been going upfield trying to take boosts the entire time, but now OG have to defend with low numbers until he rotates back. He does, only to get bumped out. Rlcs trying to keep this in play. He wants to get this mid for Cheese, but it's awkward, so JNAPs is able to take it again.
Cheese very indecisive there on how to play that. JNAPs picked him apart. Now Cheese with another big booming clear downfield, and he almost swept Noli out of the play. Rlcs trying to bring that back central. Cheese again with a full tank coming on, and Calm is right there. Magic Bear very quickly up just ahead of Noli. So now what can Calm do? He's got to be very careful here, and he wisely brings it all the way across. Rlcs to meet him. Magic Bear the demo in the net. Cheese waiting for a pass that never comes because JNAPs just happened to be there. Very fortuitous for OG as JNAPs taken out yet again, but back downfield, OG had a little something going.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Calm was looking for the lead demo. Bought Noli a lot of time to get some room, and JNAP's time to respond, despite having Rlcs upfield looking to pressure. Rlcs again, trying to pressure Noli. Noli able to get this one, but Magic Bear immediately reads it. Almost a chance there, tried to use the doink, but it didn't work out. This one goes off the sidewall. Rlcs has to backtrack. Calm wanted to go for the demo, but once Magic Bear cut out the play, he had to retreat. Now he's getting more involved in the play, but this is just goes to show you how much possession changes, ebbs, and flows here. As this overtime continues on, no one with solid ground. Luminosity's kept this ball on the orange half for the most part, but they haven't been able to make much of it. Chance here for Rlcs to end it, and he's got it under JNAPs!
Everybody shoots and everybody scores eventually. JNAPs did all he could here, but he's stuck in a penalty kick situation, and Rlcs just slips on by.
Big win there for Luminosity. You had OG knocking at the door close to overtime and during overtime as well, just waiting for kind of a lapse of rotation, but kept composed, stuck to their game plan, and once they got the best opportunity, Rlcs able to nail the shot. Now up 2-0 in the series, and you still think that, of course, yes, Luminosity the favorites here, but you're seeing what OG can do. I mean, I don't think we're getting a timeout from them, so I think they even want to continue to play on. It feels like this is within reach for them, I believe.
Yeah, after you lose a game like that, I mean, I think OG did have a lot of forward momentum. They had a great opportunity at the end of regulation. 9 out of 10 times, they're going to score there. Magic Bear just happened to be there the one time. So no, I back OG to make a series out of this, but they are down 0-2, and there is that mental block to overcome now. Like, all right, well, we gave them a pretty good shot, and it didn't work out. And we've seen teams address that concern with varying results. You've got a very veteran team here, though. That's one of the things that Calm talked about yesterday, how mature everybody is on this team. They're never too low. They're never too high. They are down 0-2, though. It's got to change right now as we go to Utopia.
We'll see what happens here. Saw a glimpse of Luminosity's coach, Raw Gregg. Talked to him yesterday. He described the series. It was going to be Definitely an interesting one. Couple brainiacs on both sides. Lots of smart people game planning, preparing on both ends of the field. Is OG prepared now? It's a drop 2. Series not over yet. Definitely could turn things around, but we want to do it here.
The one constant for every team that has faced Calm, whether it's been with version 1, Bull Send, or now with OG, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. You know Calm is waiting to blow a game wide open. JNAPS try to outlet towards Calm on the opposite side. Magic Bear intercepts. Cheese is right there to challenge JNAPS. Full tank of boost, quickly up for the ball as well. Rlcs in support. Look, the support hasn't necessarily been needed. Cheese has 3 out of the 5 goals so far. Now JNAPS with Magic Bear trying to deal with Nolly, and he does. Avoids the contact and makes the save.
Been a lot of clutch saves so far this series for Magic Bear. He's definitely stepped up, especially in game 2. Looking to continue that trend here in game 3, which is going to be needed, especially the way OG are starting to play. Keeping the ball close, taking a couple more opportunities and net, and not really letting Luminosity have too much possession, even bringing the ball to their own half. They've been able to shut things down fairly early. As even JNAPS here, big touch on the midfield, despite Rlcs trying to go for the demo, which is undeterred.
Calm looking to connect with JNAPS. He couldn't run onto that though. Cheese, top right, and he strikes again.
And this is Cheese after getting a demo from Noli and taking the corner. Turns, beats out JNAPS, top right corner. What can't he do? Cheese again for LG.
It's not surprising that OG, over the course of time here, has gotten by with limiting opportunities and playing solid defense. The problem is they're up against the best offense in the tournament. Now it's Calm around Cheese. Nolly waiting. Can he get into the play? Got a piece of that, but Rlcs deflected out to the corner. And Magic Bear, despite getting swept away from the play, got that touch. Now Cheese. Can't do anything with this, so Magic Bear will boom it right back downfield. Try and keep possession. And what else can he do? He has to stall a little bit. I mean, again, OG is not going to win many shootouts in this series, and Rlcs just barely cut off the angle.
That was very close. It's lots of good control went upfield here, but it's these in midfield beats. I mean, Cheese has been so fast to the ball. We talked about JNAPS and how fast he was yesterday, but even he's having a tough time the way Luminosity have been moving the ball around on the field. Again, beautiful control there. Almost was able to play it around Calm. The ball goes straight to Magic Bear, who again, able to push this onto the back wall here. And OG, whenever they move upfield, they always got to start from square one. It's never been really easy for them to try to build a counterattack, as Luminosity's been spaced very well.
Cheese took his time trying to bait in JNAPS. Rlcs doesn't get the second touch. Cheese high to the corner. Loose ball that Magic Bear thought about, but realized his teammate's going to be slow getting back. Calm running ahead, leaving that for JNAPS. Rlcs actually played it right into JNAPS. That could have been very dangerous for LG. They kind of got away with one there.
Yeah, that's when it really comes down to OG being able to capitalize too off of certain mistakes. Here's Cheese, keeping it close. Big 50 win. Knows he has Calm in a tough spot, so he's going to try to lead block for it. And Cheese able to get it again. I thought I was on Cheese. I was on the Magic Bear's POV, actually. Look at this.
Well, change up.
Missed the first touch, but it's okay. He wins the 50 and gets it in regardless.
How can he defend that? Good luck. 2-0. Cheese with his 5th goal of the series. His teammates have 1 each. An MVP if we ever saw one. JNAPS answers back, no, Cheese is there, but he can't stop everything. He needs some help as Calm makes it 2-1.
Initial touch, has to watch out for the demo from Noli, and Calm able to get there in time. That's exactly what you needed from OG. Getting one back here with 1:12 left. Things are in your hands. Not a lot of time on your side, but it's enough.
Just over a minute. Magic Bear had to jump out a long way for that ball. JNAPS just stuffed it right in the midfield. Round 1. Can he run onto this too? He got a piece of that off of Rlcs. Now Nolly downfield, intercepted by who else but Cheese. There's two of them out there.
Nolly. Oh, no, he actually gets demo. Reynolds takes out 2. Chance here. Cheese trying to get to Magic Bear. This looks really sloppy. Plenty of time here for OG to take the ball, but Khan plays it right back into Cheese. Now they're playing 50s on their own end, and they don't have enough time here on the clock. 30 seconds to go. Free ball for Luminosity as they try to pass it in between each other. It's starting to work out. Can Cheese hit this double? Khan says no. Tries to stop the bleeding here, but they need to get things moving on offense. Again, another leave here. Magic Bear brings it all the way back to the goal line. More times ticking down. Even when they go upfield, they're not able to really make contact to slow down the offensive press. Final 10 seconds. LG still in control. Reynolds with a pinch high. J-Nems has to play it off his own back wall. They're going for a last-second play. Magic Bear is going to keep this one close until it hits the ground. And Luminosity put this series on match point.
Well, you can't take that timeout with you, and they immediately are going to call it here. Down 0-3 as Luminosity wins another one-goal game. They go 2-1, 3-2 in overtime, and 2-1. And OG Esports needs a timeout to try and turn this series around.
I mean, it's tough because they start to get things going a little bit later than they probably should. I mean, the Luminosity, though, they really don't give you opportunities to kind of slow down the play. They're always on top of the ball. Even if you get a strong beat, there's always, the second man is just always there, outpacing you. And OG struggling to play around that for the most part. You're right, they've kept it a close series, but it's never really felt like they've had their hand on the driver's seat.
Well, there's the man who's got to come up with a plan. Torment. It's still hard to process that Torment has retired and he's now a coach. I know he retired almost a calendar year. Yeah, almost exactly 12 months ago. I think it was 11 months ago. But he's in the saddle now, trying to lead OG back from an 0-3 deficit. And for Calm, the physical play, I mean, it has opened up opportunities. He's done some of the scoring where you don't typically look to Calm to be a major part of the offense directly, right? His value is more off the ball, but he's had to be involved on the ball a lot more than maybe OG would like, because J-Naps and Nolly just haven't been able to get past. They haven't been able to get past Cheese, really. He's done everything. I know we've said it multiple times, but he has been far and away the most valuable player of this tournament.
He's been doing a really good job. Luminosity as a team has been looking solid. All cylinders go here. And even when you think about this particular matchup, the way OG's been playing, yes, it's been keeping things close. Their defense is very solid. But at the same time, there's certain things on the field that are happening that are working right in Luminosity's favor. Clearances downfield to where they have to play catch up to the ball. Okay, someone from LG's there. They know how to control it and play for each other every single time. When you have them on the defensive end, yes, they have to dodge bumps. There hasn't been too many one-sided demo affairs here in this series, but again, just making sure they're uncomfortable, they don't have time. And for OG, having to be able to break past that, they've really got to turn things up. When they do play fast, we have seen them kind of outpace LG for the time being, but they've got to make the most of it.
Luminosity has been slightly more physical in this series than OG, and that just does not bode well for OG at all.
Oh, my!
Say Cheese! Double tap!
Clip it, baby! Look at this from Cheese. Recognizes the space. Beautiful double to push it through. Calm didn't stand a chance.
Coming out of a timeout. Worst case scenario. 10 seconds in. You feel like this game just got shortened by a few minutes because OG needs an answer, and they need it right about now.
And Cheese getting enabled, especially with that coming off the timeout, does not bode well for OG. Again, a little bit of slight hesitations and in the wrong spots on the field. And Luminosity said, well, thank you very much. We will take that every single day. What a series Cheese has been having. And if this is how LG look, Championship Sunday, I mean, they are a threat. It's up to OG, though. They're not out of this just yet. Plenty of time in this game. They've kept up a close series, but now they've got to turn things around. They're playing from behind once again.
Magic Bear ahead for Rlcs, and he stayed with the play. And now JNaps has calmed downfield, a little too strong for him. He couldn't get on it. Noli, backboard, angled downward. It was loose, but nobody else could read that. It was not particularly well played on either side. Rlcs all the way across. Calm is there. Won the race to the corner boost, then ate a demolition for his efforts. The irony here, Calm has been a popular demo target.
That was, yeah, I guess he wanted the ball there too. That was really weird on the side of OG. This one stuck in the back end after a weird double commit. Both players had control, and now Noli has to make a diving save. Magic Bears got it! The Bear gets involved as well, and Luminosity shining when they're in front.
Now that initial save, I mean, JNaps is there, but it's just a slightly bad angle. And Magic Bear perfectly placed to zip. Things just keep going from bad to worse. You know, we talk so much about timeout buffs, right? With some coaches, maybe more so than others. I mean, I think Greg is eventually going to get a lot of credit for his coaching performance here with Luminosity. Here's Noli's second touch, just kind of kills that on the side. But remember, even though you take a timeout to try and stop momentum, yeah, the other coach gets to talk to his team for that long too. So that pass just missing JNaps barely, and then that out of the corner just skips out to the opposite side, and Cheese will have it.
Naps trying to turn this around. Calm upfield. Got a bump on Magic Bear, so this is going to sail all the way downfield. And Calm's got the read. Up front play from Calm. JNaps pushing the ball in the right spot, and all of a sudden, OG, it's a 1-goal difference.
Yeah, Magic Bear just getting clipped, as you mentioned, and that meant he couldn't just stop and get up in the air to try and contest that ball. So easy finish for Calm. They're right back within one. Hey, they've been in this spot multiple times. Every game at some point has been 2-1. But they've only been able to get that second goal the one time, and they still lost that game in overtime.
Backs against the wall here, halfway through game 4. Is this the start of what could be a turnaround here for OG Esports? Luminosity just want to close this series out, start preparing for the grand final. Rlcs, big shot, but no, it's off target. Noli also, great touch in. Infield passes between JNaps and Noli. The ball goes to Cheese. Noli gets a cut, and Calm ends up beating Rlcs there and taking the corner boost, but Magic Bear still able to play it on here on the back wall. OG trying to disrupt there. You see JNaps looking for a bump here on Cheese. No real free shot opportunity. That's really awkward for Calm. He stretched to make that touch. Just to keep things in play here for OG. They've got good offensive possession, but they haven't really been able to amount it to a shot. It's just been, how can we play around Luminosity? How can we bump them and get them out the way? And so far, they haven't really answered that question, because now they've lost possession and LG are on offense.
Cheese with a full tank of boost. He thought about going up, but that ball a little too far from the sidewall for his liking. And now Noli had to hesitate because JNaps jumped in front of him, and that allowed Cheese to demolish him. And OG just, at times, it looked like they have a promising attack. They jump at each other's way, but now Noli comes in. This time he's undeterred, and he ties the game.
Noli was sitting in midfield waiting for this one. Recognized he had it free, saw the net, and hit the mark. You have to take your opportunities. Noli made the most of it there. First shot of the game for him goes in, and we are all tied up in game 4.
I wonder if Magic Bear just thought Rlcs was behind him. He just maybe lost track of him because he's just starting to creep downfield, and there was nobody home for a ball that was not secured. Magic Bear now has Rlcs ahead of him, knows where he is. He's going to take a shot, and it's an open net. After all that, OG just gifted them a free one.
So much pressure, but no one home. Magic Bear had 0 boost, but guess what? He was close enough to the ball, got just enough power to put Luminosity back in the lead. He's shooting 50%. LG have a chance here to end things, but they just got to hold on for the next minute.
Unreal how the twist and the type of turns that this series has taken. Magic Bear under 1. Noli is right there. Clean win, but nobody down there. JNaps jumps in front of this as Rlcs let it get too far away from him. Magic Bear will pop it around too. Calm trying to race back. He's got the midfield boost. He's going to need it eventually here as Noli dives back in to save the day. Down to 20 seconds. Reynolds beaten out by J-Naps. Cheese racing back. Had to pump the brakes because Magic Bear couldn't come out and make a challenge. This is Calm's chance. It's high. It's an own goal.
And they get this one. I'm actually shocked here. Calm plays the high. Cheese tried to pre-jump it, and you saw Reynolds wanting to get involved too. I mean, you have to give credit there for Calm on the placement. He caught Luminosity at their weakest, and OG still fighting to try to stay alive here. 10 seconds to go. J-Naps on the ball. Calm picks up a demo. Can they win it here? No, Noli gets demo before he can take the game-winning shot. Luminosity with the ball. Chance there, no, blocked away, and we've got overtime.
Well, what crazy way will Luminosity find to steal this game? Reynolds, patient in the corner. Noli, not so much. He dove right at him. Now Magic Bear. Good win against Calm to get that to Reynolds. Can he turn on this? No. J-Naps shot easily saved by Cheese. And what else can he do? I mean, what else hasn't he done? Calm's got this. Got bodies forward. It's J-Naps underneath. Magic Bear the initial stop. J-Naps rolling one in, nothing there. Reynolds credited with a save. It's an easy one. Now J-Naps going after Cheese. Easier said than done. He did get a demo. No, he got demolished, so he'll be back into the play. Spawning back ball side, and that actually means he's not going to have much boost because that quarter boost was taken right as he spawned. Calm can't go forward. Noli's got to retreat, and LG just looked like they're one touch away from snapping apart this OG defense.
OG staying tall, able to get a clearance out, and maybe even a chance here to kind of build on some late momentum. Calm has been moving up and down the field trying to be as effective as possible, whether it's bumps or boost steals, and even sometimes just getting these important cuts out of the play to stop Luminosity. As now, both teams starting to struggle here, but chance for Noli to end it! He's got it! OG will not go out in a sweep. We play on!
Reynolds did all he could there. He's trying to avoid contact. You know, he probably wants to try and pinch it around the corner, but that's just the touch he ended up with. Nobody else within the same zip code. And we play on as OG, after the timeout, finds a way to steal one off of Luminosity.
Got to give credit to OG, the level of resilience here. It just goes to show you also the individual players, that mentality, the mindset. You know, they've been in the game. They understand these high-pressure situations. They've gone through highs and lows all on their own. Now they're all playing together, and we come down to something as big as an overtime like this, for them keeping their series run alive and the chance even to make the major run easier for them, they show up. And now, a chance here for them to build. A reverse sweep against Luminosity would be crazy. I will say that, of course. Not too many best-of-7 reverse sweeps in this stage of the game. But I wouldn't count it out on them.
Not too many best-of-7 reverse sweeps in North America. Unless I happen to be here. Oh. Okay,
It's not about you.
Well, you know, I hit the first two. That's all I'm saying. Here we go. Hey, Reynolds knows that. He had one of them.
I was there for that.
He's good. Yeah. No, you weren't. It was Corelli and Subi. Get out of here.
Oh,
all right.
Talking about the optic one.
Nah, I wasn't there for that one. Magic Bear. Going to work. I mean, LG has been great early in games. Late, the window's been open for OG. There's J-Naps getting past Reynolds. Magic Bear gonna stay way, way back. And a good thing, Calm actually pool shots an LG player into that ball, but it doesn't pan out. And things have slowed down to a crawl here, which I think OG is very happy with, because again, the way LG has started every game in this series, it's been a nightmare for OG Esports.
And OG already starting off with some increased pacing here. Oh, Naps backflips on the play, but almost got a free shot. Reynolds sent him packing. He did not want Naps taking that at all. But watch out for Calm. Flip reset. Did he get it? No. Reynolds denial on the goal line. But you gotta like what you're seeing from OG. Chance here, no lead. Bang! The pressure pays off. Look at OG go.
J-Naps credited with another assist as He returns the favor. Magic Bear knocked way out into Utopia. 1 minute gone by. OG strike first. Starting to think maybe there was a slow-mo mutator on him. My goodness. Nobody can
Watch
get
out.
any kind of ground here. Nobody can pull away from anybody. On the kickoff, Cheese. As cool as you like.
That's a bad man. Cheese now with the equalizer. If you thought OG was just gonna simply turn things around, you are wrong. Magic Bear's gonna get it. Reynolds had the demo or the bump up in front to give him the space. Perfect kickoff as well. You saw Cheese with the fake there. Reynolds got the bump, and Magic banked the shot. Back to back for Luminosity.
Well, well, well. All sorts of kickoff shenanigans. All good fake there by Calm. Jane Apps wide open.
Oh.
Right between the eyes, and what a save by Reynolds. Oh, it was Magic Bear. They both crisscross in front. Somehow LG keeps OG off the scoreboard again, but it is still awkward for Luminosity. Noli coming on, double no, and J-Nap started going middle. I don't think he realized Noli was gonna leave that ball back.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a third man or a second man too, or an OG, you have to be careful. Because Luminosity will opt to just demo you rather than even thinking about blocking the shot. Let's just get him out of the way. We've seen it happen plenty of times. It's been the biggest thing that stifled OG's offense this series. And if they could clean it up, look for that, position themselves for better shot chances, I mean, they'll be that much more successful. But Luminosity, I mean, you have to give them credit. They know who they're dealing with here. They know the best way. Okay, we got to make J-Naps uncomfortable. Can't have him taking free shots. Chance here for Calm, but no, Magic Bear gets up first. Reynolds blocking J-Naps out, and Cheese able to push this upfield.
Oh, Noli wanted the ball there. He did grab the corner boost and then got demolished. So that nullifies about 80 boosts right there. J-Naps pitch in front, and it goes off of everything. Cheese saves the rebound. Oh, J-Naps has to feel absolutely robbed.
OG staying on this one now. Looking for a chance back, and it's been so tough. Still, though, they know they have time here on the clock. Luminosity. Look at Reynolds just being able to switch the plays so efficiently. Magic Bear, great follow-up, and now Reynolds moving upfield again, trying to see who can he disrupt. Chance here for Reynolds, tries to sneak it, follow-up from Cheese, he's got it! And now it's a 2-goal lead for Luminosity.
Count them up. 8 goals. A little janitor work here to extend the lead to 2. OG are fading. Less than 2 minutes to go.
Oh,
good
did they get it?
J-Naps nothing behind the shot. And who else but Cheese to make the save?
Field pass, 1, 2, 3, and they got it! What a play!
Tick, tack, toe. Calm, back within 1 for OG.
Oh man, we are in for a treat. This is amazing. So quickly, OG, 3-man passing play, very well executed. Still a 1-goal game though. Luminosity have been, any punch they take, they hit with a strong counter punch. But even then, they still have to keep their guard up.
There goes Noli again, and everybody on the left side for OG. Somebody's got to get mid. Calm ends up there because he follows through, but he's got to retreat. Reynolds already downfield, going after him.
Oh!
Made the save off of Noli.
Oh.
And then Cheese only brings that to the side. Couldn't get another shot off. And a big break for OG.
Yeah, I think Cheese, he might have been looking for a pass there to Reynolds. Reynolds was on his way back. Oh, but that's big. Noli, too far forward. He backflips, and it goes the other way. Reynolds hits the open net, and a comfortable 2-goal lead for Luminosity.
Oops. That one hurts. That one hurts in a big way. Important kickoff for OG. Noli lurking. Oh, the pass too strong from JNaps. It was well intended, just not on the mark. OG's got to find a way to get 2 unanswered here. JNaps with Noli running forward. Loose ball. Calm got to it, but it's still blocked away. Now all the way across. Calm just outside of 30 seconds remaining. Reynolds had to hesitate for a moment. That's the opportunity. The window's open. Noli can't get back around to center that ball. Nobody else was forward anyways. Now down to 20. Calm, too strong. JNaps out for Noli. Gotta have it here with 15 and it's cleared.
Ball downfield. Luminosity will bank another one. My goodness, if we needed a dagger, Magic Bear gave it to us. What a performance from them to start. And Magic Bear closing the door on any chance OG had here in this series. 10 seconds remaining, and my goodness, we saw a strong fight in Game 4 from OG Esports. And in Game 5, they had us on the edge of our seats. But Luminosity shows that they are here in the top 4 and in the grand finals.
We will see this high power offense get to go up against either G2 or Gen G later on today. What a performance out of Luminosity. What a performance out of Cheese. 8 goals to lead all scorers by a significant margin. There are only so many superlatives you can use to describe his performance leading LG.
Yes, I mean, Cheese has definitely been breaking out here on his own, but it does take a team. And this team, if there were any questions, of course, on their performance and how they would do going into this event, were they playing really close against G2 just because they understand that matchup? No, this is really a strong contending team to be one of the best teams in North America, and they are showing it game by game, match by match. They are in the grand finals. Who will join them next? We got G2 versus Gen G Mobile 1 coming up. You won't want to miss it. Luminosity get the job done, and they look like a well-oiled machine here on Championship Sunday. OG put up a tough fight, but to talk about the matchup, I'm here with the Rlcs. Slater, congratulations on the win. It's good to talk to you.
Thank you, DeMar. It's always good to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, talk to me about OG here. Of course, you guys just got finished playing them, going into the event, North American qualifiers. A lot of people had them ranked up pretty high, but they ended up falling out. Where would you guys have them now after seeing them in a top 4 situation?
Yeah, it's a team that we feel game plans pretty close to as good as we do, which is rare, for North American teams. And it's a team that we struggle with. Offseason we lost to them twice, beat them once, scrims. They dominate us, to be completely honest. But it's a team that we knew we couldn't take lightly. For a top 2, obviously, anyone that makes a semifinal, you're not going to be able to take them lightly. But it was going to be a good match regardless.
Yeah, you guys did absolutely phenomenal there in the series. Want to highlight Cheese especially. A lot of people have been saying his name. But talk to me about his impact on the field.
A lot of doubt. A lot of hate came his way this offseason replacing AJ. It's no small feat. But, we saw it, and now you guys get to see it, thankfully. The most hardworking, respectful. I can't praise him enough for what he's done to this team. Completely transformed, especially Magic. He's one of the best teammates I've ever had, and I've had a lot of good teammates. And I could talk about him for hours. We would miss the G2 Gen G series, so I'll leave it at that. But.
Fair. Maybe another time.
Yeah.
But talk to me. You guys are also just one solid team. From all you guys on the field, even including your coaches that help you guys out. We always talk about your team's preparation, but I do want to hear it from you especially. How do you feel about the way you guys prepare match by matchup?
The NRG preparation wasn't a ton. It was like any other team. We watched their VOD and we said, okay, this is why we lost. Just don't do this. And, we showed that yesterday. But this OG team is a lot tougher. You have 3 people that have been here forever. You add up all their years playing, it's over a decade. And it's not a team that you can just come in with no plan and beat them, which you see from other series. But we felt good. It's a team that I won't share too much sauce on the broadcast, but we were feeling good coming in today.
Fair enough. Okay, last question for you. Of course, you guys are waiting in the grand finals. Gen G versus G2 coming up next. How do you think it's going to go?
I think G2 takes it pretty handily. I haven't been, compared to how good the players on Gen G are, I haven't been that impressed with them this season. I think they still need to figure it out a little bit. And G2 obviously is, G2. So I like our matchup against both, but I'm expecting to play G2 in the grands.
Definitely makes sense. Rlcs, thank you for your time for the interview, and we'll let you go to prepare for the grand finals.
Thank you, Daz.
They came out of the kitchen and hit him with the mozzarella. My goodness, Luminosity will play in the grand finals of Open Qualifier number 2, and we wait to see who they play against here with our second semifinals. What a match, though.
Can we talk real quick? I'm sorry, I'm going to cut it off. Sure. You had to fill the shoes of AJ Cheese, and you've done just that. 1.6 goals per game in this series alone, shooting 44%. AJ was a goal-striking machine last spring, but Cheese is bringing that power as well, rejuvenating this entire team. Kudos to him. Magic Bear was involved a ton as well with this great goal at the end to seal the deal. Luminosity are the real deal.
With considerably more games played than Jack, by the way, who's leading him in goals per game by 0.02. You can expect that to go down. By the way, can we appreciate how Rlcs has gone from, we really only need to worry about Drip A because Classics and Corrupted G are a little too slow, to, I don't want to spread too much sauce on the broadcast. He's become such a mature boy. Well done, Rlcs.
You did a great job. An excellent interview and an excellent match. They are going to be getting ready for the finals now, as they have to wait to see who they're playing against. G2 and Gen G waiting on the other side here. Many thought this would be our grand finals yet again this week, but as the bracket would have it, you lose some games in the Swiss. Things like this can happen here. G2 versus Gen G will be our next matchup, and these teams, huge battle. Went very, very one-sided though last time, Stacks here. G2 clearly the favorites right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, Gen G came in with all the impressive statistics, and you thought, okay, they're going to keep it going, right? No, they ran into a brick wall. They ran into a buzzsaw in Beast Mode and Daniel in particular. I mean, that duo, it was weird. They couldn't get out of their own way in the majority of the first event, and then in the grand finals, they looked like peak vitality compared to Gen G. And I know that Jack in particular is probably incredibly disappointed in his team's performance. And I think he's going to take that personally coming into this one.
And we talk about apparently Jack in terms of he puts in a ton of goals. He was number 2 goal scorer in Qualifier 1. The only reason why he was number 2 was because in that grand finals, in those 4 games versus G2, he scored 0 goals. He leads everyone again in Qualifier 2. He's going to have to show more. The entire team is going to have to get the offense going. G2 is the number 1 defense in North America by far, but it feels like they really haven't been tested. Last time they played a Gen G squad, Gen G just kept giving the ball up to G2 over and over and over again. So maybe a little bit of complacency, like in the offseason, they didn't want to lose that honeymoon period, so they didn't play in any offseason tournaments. And I think that's coming back to bite them now, because pros, they ranked them tied for first with G2. But even Rlcs is saying now, like, after watching these guys on the field, they don't look that threatening. They look like, yeah, that they're still a top 4 team, but they're not in conversation anymore for that number 1 spot. He said it himself, Rlcs, G2 should win this easily. Gen G's got to show something on the field.
Well, I mean, the way that he phrased it too is that, like, the players on Gen G aren't living up to the caliber he knows them to be. Each one of these players individually, so excellent, but something here, Stacks, is just not clicking right now.
And it's weird to say that, right? Because against everybody else, they look fine. I mean, they have been dominant against most of the rest of the field except G2 and M80. And at least M80 doesn't exist right now. You got to focus on G2, and I'm very curious to see how they adapt from that first match now to this one.
Well, folks, we'll see how it goes. I just pulled up the stats here. This is across all rosters. They've played 7 times, G2 and Gen G. Gen G does narrowly hold the lead. They're 4-3, but most of that was last season when there was a completely different roster. As far as this season goes, they've played 1 time. Gen G literally has not taken a game. So given that it's only been 1 time, things could change here. We'll see what happens. GGM1 in chat, G2 in chat, and we'll make our predictions up here on the desk. I mean, there is a very clear, obvious choice here, but Stacks are not going for it. You believe it was a one-time fluke?
I wouldn't say necessarily a fluke, because the fact that it was a beating last time,
yeah,
I think it's the fluke. But it is tough to dominate a team like Gen G to that degree twice in a row. I understand that M80 did it. There's something different going on there. But I do think this time around, this is the matchup that Gen G is kind of mentally highlighted, and this is their grand final.
And I think for the betterment of North America, we need Gen G to punch the G2 like in the mouth to see what we get out of G2. They've coasted this entire split. I want Game 7 wave. We call for it all day. It's still not happening.
Come on.
Let's
Gotta
get
go
there.
to Champions Guild one time here, folks. G2, obviously the favorites in chat and on the desk and on the pitch, but Gen G are looking to show that while it's a 2-team region, it might be the top 2, but this is the best we've got in North America right now. Can Gen G get revenge on G2? It's time to find out.
The biggest rivals in North America meet again. G2, though, have only dropped 2 games all of Qualifier 2. They are in peak form, but Gen G, they hunger for revenge, and they want to cut their road to destiny short.
Yeah, they're going to really need some help as well on that revenge. They were beat down in the last grand final. This is a rematch, first qualifier grand final. We have it here in the semis. Gen G got obliterated. Will it be? They gone to the film room and been able to figure out G2 has looked unstoppable.
And when I spoke to Jack, they brought that confidence. They were really composed in that series, and that's why I was able to go the distance. And Jack, he's the guy that you can rely on, converts 40% of his shots into goals. He's the statistic warlord for his team, but Daniel, he's the one to fear on the other side of the pitch. All around, G2 are a menace. Beast Mode with a few more touches starts G2 off strong.
And Beast Mode, he caused all the trouble for Gen G last time. Look at this, he gets a 50, steals the corner, stays on the play. Beast Mode just can't be contained. Gen G will have to figure out the problem of Beast Mode if they want to have any shot in this series.
Yeah, and if you thought the G2 offense was scary, it's actually their defense that is the best in the region. No team this entire qualifier has been able to score more than 3 goals against G2. Their average goals conceded per game is 1. We'll see if Gen G will figure out how to crack that egg. For now, it is First Killer knocking on that door, wanting to set up Chronic, but he was too far forward to do something with that pass. So G2 scrambled to get out.
And you could see Chronic was expecting that second touch from First Killer as well. That was a really nice scoring opportunity. Oh, that's a mistouch as well, and it leads to a goal. Apparently, Jack let this get away from him. You see here, it was a tough ball to deal with from Atomic. He was trying to bring it back to the wall and get a second touch, ended up passing it right out to the middle. And this is not the start Gen G was looking for. You know, apparently Jack had a really rough final series as well, with low boost in some tough situations, not able to make the play. And this first game also starting out pretty painful for Gen G.
Man, G2 already up 2-0, and you've talked to any player, any person in the community about G2, they're just so suffocating to play against. They demand perfect team play to break up what they have, and that pressure that they can create. Now Atomic to the corner, has Jack dangerously crossing in front of that net as Daniel looms in the midfield, at least going for the 50, setting up Beast Mode, climbs up high, wanting to reset. First Killer denies that and sails across the field, but running out of boost. Chronic adds in some pressure, some power to the shot, going to the backboard, now setting up Gen G for an offense.
You can see Chronic trying to battle through the bump, actually got hit slightly through his trajectory off. Still Gen G looking good on the attack before that booming clear from Daniel. Chronic will have a lot of time here, though. See what he does.
Ooh, good dodge on the challenge there. Coming out of G2, and Jack with the shot. Atomic dives and saves. And Gen G have had a few close calls, but G2 not out of the woods yet. First Killer wanting to dive in a little too late to the punch. And that's a decent enough clear, but here's Jack in that midfield. And Chronic is right below this ball. He needs to reposition. First Killer puts it to the corner. Now Chronic steps up and the ball's above him. Jack scoops it up, and Gen G are working on rallying this offense, but that mistouch from Jack gives G2 some breathing room.
So far, G2 absorbing the pressure, and again, Chronic had First Killer in the middle, opted not to take that pass. Perhaps trying to play the game of attrition and boost starve G2, but you can see that has not been working. G2, despite all the shots that they've received, have not let anything close to going in.
Oh, Chronic, good deny from Daniel. Let's not let the backboard be used there for this to not fall in front of the net. G2 been able to shut out Gen G thus far, with Daniel demoing First Killer and G2 getting possession almost there. That was some potential brewing. And with 90 seconds left, Gen G can't afford to give up another goal. Jack goes long and far all the way to Chronic. Down below, Chronic has some help. And what a save from Daniel! But the cleanup is there from Jack. And Gen G, well, they're right behind by 1.
And again, Chronic has an option to go for a pass, but goes for the solo play. This time, though, it leads to a rebound. Perhaps that is going to be the strategy for Gen G Mobile 1. Just let Chronic in there, let him work, and try to pick up the pieces. That play finally getting the best of the G2 defense.
First Killer, ooh, a pinch that goes all the way to the midfield, recovered quickly by Chronic. First Killer trying to bump Daniel off the play, and Atomic gets a piece of it, pops it up high. First Killer's leaving the play, and Jack does so, but he's always trying to contest that midfield, and you love how Gen G slowed down the play, but G2 are still a slow burn. And Gen G were only able to strike here in this last minute. Now in the blue half, Gen G's defense continues. The 50 still stuck in the corner. 43 seconds, as Gen G work on that equalizer, but not able to maintain that possession on transition. It's difficult, but Daniel's double tap is rough. First killer trying to disrupt that, and man, Gen G's backs are against the wall on this one.
That was crazy. You saw the control, though, from Daniel. He had the defense beat. Just wasn't able to get that shot underneath the bar. Now leaves Gen G a chance to get back in this one. Late flip reset. You see the bump attempt.
Ooh. So close. First killer's demo 2, and Gen G need to maintain this a few more seconds, and they still have a chance to tie and force the OT. Or G2 will start off the semifinal on a good foot. And a good touch by Atomic. This all goes all the way down. Chronic still has the ball up. Dribbling it past Daniel with the 50. It's got some power, and somehow Jack still has it up. They're going to the orange half. Atomic's ready on the wall. Oh my! First killer with the soft shot. Daniel denies. G2, game 1.
That is the chance for Gen G. First killer was not able to find the power. And you saw Daniel already in the air denying that opportunity. So Gen G fall despite that heroic 0-second effort. A great catch as well by Chronic to keep that ball in play. And it was a very close game. I think things started out miserably for Gen G. You saw the mistouch from Jack in the corner that led to a goal. Beast mode, the solo play early on. It just got out to a rough start, but then from that point on, Gen G recovered quite nicely. I think for the last half of the game, they kept G2 back. You even look at the shots, Lemon. Way more shots for Gen G, and the scoreable opportunities as well, especially at the end. Even though Gen G lost that first game, I think they're still going to be confident looking forward to game 2.
Yeah, 11 shots to 5 in favor of Gen G, but they lost, and it was so close. I swear we were going into overtime, and this match has big stakes, not only for obviously getting to the grand finals, and money is great and points, yada yada, but also the whole point of this getting that major spot. If G2 wins and goes to the final, they've officially clinched their spot to Copenhagen. If Gen G needs to win the regional entirely to clinch that spot to be guaranteed. Of course, we expect great things from them in Qualifier 3 regardless, but G2 off on a good foot.
Oh, certainly. And I mean, by all estimations, G2 the favorite to lock in that first spot from North America. And they did enough in game 1 to get there. I'm eager to see if Gen G can clean things up defensively and bring that same level of offensive pressure they did last game and really give G2 some trouble. Because so far, you know, we said they had a rival here. These two are rivals, but it seems like G2 is unrivaled at the moment. There's nobody who's been able to contest them.
Yeah, G2 have a lot of respect for their opponent. Like, I got to talk to that coach, and yeah, they don't agree with the whole one team for the region sort of discussion that's happening. They definitely think Gen G's part of that conversation. And someone that needs to step up in my eyes is First Killer. Not that he's been bad. Of course, the ceiling pin we highlighted on the pre-show was sick. One of the most desirable individuals when it comes to signing in the off-season. He needs to make this a super team, and it's Atomic that shines first with a beautiful double tap.
Oh my goodness, and a dime from Beast Mode. This one is so close to touching the ceiling, and Atomic had almost no boost at all. That was so precise to be able to read that ball's not hitting the ceiling, land on the ceiling, and get the double tap with that little boost. That is so difficult. That play was truly magnificent from Atomic.
Oh, that's a good demo from First Killer. As he heads towards the back, that touch from Atomic centers out in the middle of the field. Chronic, an attempted pass there to First Killer, up to the ceiling. Jack in the box. Daniel with a deny at the corner. Chronic goes up high before Atomic. That pinch off the wall stifles that chance for Gen G. Jack wants to set up First Killer, but Beast Mode is up first. G2's defense seems unrivaled.
And they're just everything about them seems unrivaled at the moment. Gen G, by many, ranked that #2 team, but it looks like #1 is who they've got to play, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get past him. A 50 from Daniel gets the bump, the fake from Beast Mode. Atomic is right there. First Killer, he's trying to make the calculation. All right, who's hitting this ball? And by the time he realizes it's Atomic, it's too late.
You have to play perfect against G2. And Gen G, it's a slow ramp. They only got their first goal in the last minute there of game 1. First killer, I like these demos in the opponent's end. This 3-on-2 advantage though. No one's really going for the ball for Gen G. Jack, the first killer placed on the left, saved by Atomic. Tries to follow through. Chronic wins the 50, goes up high against Beast Mode.
And Daniel reads it.
Daniel intercepts it again.
It's exactly what Chronic was trying to do. He's trying to pinch pass that out mid, and Daniel says, all right, well, I'll just block it. He read that pass, and most times defenses are going to let that slip through, but Daniel is something else.
Really is. First killer trying to make the magic happen with the reset to dodge the challenge against Beast Mode to the corner against Atomic. Chronic, they're first on the corner, but you just can't seem to accomplish any passes if you're Gen G. And their offense relies on passes a lot more than G2. As Jack going in with a lot of speed, Daniel tries to slow it down and comes out to Chronic.
Right at Atomic.
And Atomic with the save at the goal line.
Chronic shot it right at Atomic, and now it's going to be a rebound opportunity. It is pinched out, but Gen G needs these goals, but getting goals against G2 is like squeezing water from a rock, and that's a miss, and it's going to be blocked on the follow-up as well. Gen G remain parched.
Oh, G2 make no mistakes on the defense. They cover their bases well. Daniel not letting Chronic cross over. This goes all the way to the blue half. At least Gen G have been able to build up this offense, stay in the orange half, and attempt a lot more shots and threatening ones. Backboard protected. Jackson setting up first killer. Placed! The triple commit from G2 blocks it. Gen G's shots have been disgusting. They've registered 10 against the 3 of G2, but come out with 0 goals.
Yeah, I mean, but the shots haven't been placed well. They haven't. G2 has been stacking the goal line. They've been predicting the passing lanes. Gen G, they really need to bring some of that power and precision if they're going to beat G2. It's going to have to be a great shot.
Yeah, G2's composure defensively, too. You got to applaud that they don't panic and they don't make mistakes. And Gen G are going to have to force it. Beast Mode with the 50 that he won. Chronic, good backup there in the back. Daniel shoved to the side. Beast Mode left alone for a second as Chronic climbs up high, not high enough, and first killer adds to the equation to keep Gen G stable. But for how long? 41 seconds are left, and Gen G, it was possible in game 1 when they were only down by 1. They have quite a gap to close, and they just can't put a dent in this armor of G2. For now, Atomic has Beast Mode by his side, but can't seem to get the pass to him. Beast Mode, that's a dangerous touch, and he gets the second one to not let that be used by Gen G. Jack on for a second, 11 seconds left. G2 going for insurance, double tap, not on target there for Atomic. And the seconds go by, and Gen G go out with a whimper in game 2.
And it's tragic if you're a Gen G fan, because this is more of what we saw in the final. G2 have outclassed Gen G, and also the chances that Gen G has gotten, it's been hospital balls. You remember the opportunity first killer had, he blasted it off the post, and the follow-up shot was right at a defender. So you're gonna have to be better than that with your few opportunities that you have against G2. G2, on the other hand, spectacular. This goal from Atomic, I cannot convey how difficult it is to make that read of the ball not bouncing off the ceiling and landing on the ceiling and getting the double with such low boost. Atomic made it look easy. A G2, they're playing at a level unmatched at the moment, and Gen G, they're not there right now.
Ooh, Gen G calls for a timeout, and good to not let this turn into just a waterfall of losses. Gen G need to talk about what is it gonna take to score against G2? It's not for any lack of effort or threat, and maybe needing more power just to kind of shave off some seconds that G2 have to react to what Gen G is brewing. But how can he be more creative than what Gen G has been putting out? They need to be just better somehow.
No, to me, it's not even a creativity thing at the moment. We saw Chronic generate a few opportunities. It looks like G2 is playing with all the confidence in the world, and it seems like Gen G are not their usual selves. I mean, you saw the even at 0 seconds in game 1 with First Killer, when he had that open shot, we were all thinking, this is it. This is that incredible 0-second moment that we've been waiting for. And First Killer wasn't able to get that power. And First Killer, like you said, Lemon, maybe the most desirable individual free agent aside from that pair of Beast Mode and Daniel. But First Killer, you expect greatness out of him. He's one of the most consistent players that North America's ever had. Many people have called him a generational talent. He is an incredible player. And when he is not making contact on the ball in a situation you expect him to get good power on, you just wonder if it's a little bit mental. Because you know that First Killer has that ability to make those plays. And just on the stage against G2, it has not been happening.
First Killer did his best, though. 5 shots to his name alone in game 2, but everyone on that team registering under a 200 score is not bode well. But Gen G have Jack missing, and Gen G just had to make the most out of it. Now they take a step back. Jack with the demo. Beast Mode is gone. They must have talked about needing to be more physical. At First Killer, a great shot. Chronic with the follow-up, not on target. It was a good chance for Gen G to score first.
Certainly a nice effort there from First Killer. And we've seen a lot of great efforts, but somehow the reads from G2 defensively have been expecting these touches that many defenses would let through.
A lot of demos to just try and destabilize G2. If you can't force mistakes, well, you just remove the players, I guess. Gen G go downfield again, but without Chronic. But it's a beautiful pass to Jack, saved by Atomic. But again, Gen G needing more power to really threaten G2. The Kings of North America, it seems. Chronic, decent shot right to Beast Mode, though. Save after save. You just can't touch G2.
That was a good rip, but not good enough to beat Beast Mode in the backflip for First Killer. But then he gets demoed off the play, and that'll fizzle out the attack for Gen G. G2 is so good on defense.
Beast Mode did kind of redirect to the corner before the challenge came through, and Atomic with the back pass to Beast Mode, drawing out Gen G from their half, but they won't fall for that one. Daniel's on the ceiling now, and Jack wanted that straight out shot, centered out, gets demoed for his efforts. Gen G reset back to that orange half, but Chronic, the ball gets away from him. First Killer tries to recover possession. Jack is climbing up for it, misses the touch, and now G2 might be able to run away with this. Chronic pushed out of the way, ball hits the cross, and nothing for G2. Beast Mode wants to carve through the right. First Killer won't let it happen. Ball in front of the net. Daniel demos one, but no follow from G2 yet. Atomic with the soft shot. It's open for Atomic. G2 1-0.
They found themselves in the G2 tar pit. You cannot get away from them. That pressure was unbeatable. You saw the demos coming in addition to those speedy 50s where apparently Jack gets beat to that challenge and the ball's launched off the ceiling. G2's speed, their depth, everything about their game has been unbeatable. This is so difficult for Gen G to deal with, and that exact play is what everyone's talking about when they say that G2 pressure offensively. That play embodies it.
And I know in the interview, Gen G were really confident this was going to be a different series, that they have improved a lot, and they have, but G2 is just a different beast so far. It is only 1-0, and Gen G respond late in the game. Daniel almost with the second. Gen G hold on. First Killer wanting this pass and gets a piece of it to the backboard, and what in the second touch? Daniel saves!
It's again a situation where First Killer did everything right. He's making the reads, but the defense is there to stop the shot. They predict the angle. But now a chance for Jack. It's on the goal line, and it still doesn't go in. There's no give up in Atomic, even though that ball was sitting on the goal line. J2 still gets there first.
Chronic on target, put to the side. First Killer hesitating in that previous play of how to get involved, and especially when the ball rides the goal line like that, you just needed to tap it in. And how many goal line saves have G2 had to put out? Soft shot there by First Killer, saved again. No gaps to be found in the G2 defense. A gap in Daniel for now as he's demoed, as Gen G hope to get G2 off their backs and keep this within 1. Daniel kind of trying to fake this against First Killer. The bounce being read by Beast Mode, 50 by Chronic. Still gives Gen G some space to work with.
And you know, in the RLCS, we used to give out awards for the savior of the season, the player that had the most saves. And usually it was a team that was at the bottom of the ladder. The teams that did nothing but get shot at, and they would lose. But Gen G has, or G2 rather, has reversed that. They're sitting here with 9 saves to just the 3 from Gen G. They've made that playstyle work for him, but a double tap, rebound, that's saved by Daniel. He doesn't get credited with it, but he did pinch that off the bar, or off the post rather. G2 are absorbing every bit of pressure that comes their way.
Yeah, beautifully said. And even if it's a double commit, like, they don't seem too shaken, even after so many shots have been taken out of Gen G. From the left to the right, they're doing everything to get G2 diving and scrambling, and finally, Jack breaks through to tie things up.
And this is such a clutch moment. This is what we saw from apparently Jack yesterday, even when the series weren't going their way, even when things were looking a little bit ugly at times. Apparently Jack stepped up with huge goals, and that is one there for Gen G.
Yeah, with 12 seconds to spare, Gen G tie it up. That's scary. Daniel was heading the other way. He's turning around now after Atomic slowed down the ball with the 50 in the blue half. Gen G now go down, and that was almost an open net. We do enter overtime for game 3.
This could be the turning point for Gen G. It was looking like they've been, you know, there was no answer to what G2 was bringing, but that play gives Gen G life. And now Jack going for a fake. That one not catching G2 out, but still we see Gen G pressure.
Daniel, with what little boost he has, keeps it off to the side. Jack has First Killer to his right. A missed challenge there from Daniel, but there was still one in the net, and someone called for a pause in overtime. That is stressful, but the pressure is on for Gen G.
Oh, it certainly is. They have been, you know, scrambling in these final moments, almost getting a goal at 0 second. Also, Atomic has lost connection. Beast Mode calling for a pause. So once we get Atomic back in the lobby, we will continue here in overtime. Not even 30 seconds into the overtime, and calling for that pause. But this game, I mean, even for a majority of this game, Lemon, even though G2 only had that 1 goal lead, you could just see the domination that G2 was bringing. It seemed like Gen G wasn't really able to get any answers, but that last play from apparently Jack in game 3, I mean, you lose this game, you have to reverse sweep an untouchable G2, but now to be able to score in these final seconds, this could be the turning point for Gen G as we get another shot. Apparently Jack's wonderful tube socks.
Very white socks, too. I can tell he keeps his floors clean. That's good. It's been a clean game, though, coming out of G2. Their defense is currently active, but with Atomic not here, hopefully he, you know, respawns and can get right back into the play, or we go to kickoff, whatever. But Gen G, I'm liking what they're doing in overtime. The 1 goal that they got, they really stretched G2's defense thin, going from the left and quickly a shot to the right, from the right. I think that if you can utilize that speed and these different angles to really force G2 to run for it, that's where maybe you could score on them. But otherwise, it's hard to force a mistake out of them.
And thank you everybody out there for your patience. We are waiting for Atomic to reboot his computer. He had disconnected. We're getting him back in. So that is what we're waiting on. Atomic to do the old turn it off and on again. And hopefully that fixes all the problems and we can continue on here. We are in game 3. This is overtime as well. A last second goal from Gen G. Forced overtime. So this could be a big opportunity here for Gen G, who's been struggling to beat this G2 defense that has been all over. And like I was talking about before, Lemon, usually when you see a team forced to make a lot of saves, it's not because their offense is good, and it's not because they're winning games. But G2 has turned that around.
16 shots out of Gen G to the 12 saves out of G2. Like, it's save central for G2, and they're just always positioned perfectly to defend against the rebounds and the follow-up shots. And that's what's gonna turn the series around, along with if we have all the players in the lobby. Hopefully,
and we finally get started. We just to pause 10 seconds later. So now there's some reports that First Killer is having some connection issues, and he has left the match, and we will get back underway as soon as we can. So we'll get First Killer back in here. Again, thank you, everybody, for your patience. We're doing everything we can. Unfortunately, when it comes to connections, sometimes they don't agree with you. So first it was Atomic, now First Killer. We're going to get this sorted as soon as we can, and then we'll continue with Game 3 overtime. But Lemon, let's just talk here about Gen G. This has been a really tough, I think. It's funny because they made it to the finals. They're here again in the semifinals. But this is not, every time we've interviewed Jack, it's not been an interview where he's like, man, we played perfect. We played our game. We did everything we wanted. He always, it always felt like Gen G expects more of themselves to be able to beat teams like G2, and they're still looking to hit that rhythm.
And I like that mental. You can always be better. And, that Daniel dunk was, that would have been the worst curse ever.
I mean, apparently Jack literally spawned right in front of him. That is unlucky for Gen G.
All right, here comes Daniel bumping Chronic. The ball drops and everyone's bumping each other around to not let clear possession go through.
My
Jack,
gosh!
the pinch is disgusting.
And this is the clutch factor from apparently Jack. You can see it actually pinches off Atomic and apparently Jack and is blasted into the net. Jack saving his flip for that wave dash, and wow, that is a play you cannot repeat. I mean, everything needed to go right for Atomic to get the slightest touch to help with the power. Oh my goodness, this game goes to Gen G, all thanks to apparently Jack.
And all the pauses that I'm sure, if you can't demo them to destructure them, attack the modems. That's what it's gonna take. I'm sure G2 were still trying to find their groove after the disconnect, but Gen G finally using those 50s to their advantage, because there was just 50 pinch after pinch, and Gen G knew they had to react faster to these. And that's where Jack was at the right place at the right time. Amazing game from him. And he is the one I noted at the start of the series that converts the most of his shots compared to everyone on the team to this game. 6 shots to his name. Keep an eye out for Jack.
Yeah, I mean, he averaged over a goal a game in their series yesterday. And through Swiss, he was the #1 scorer out of anybody, averaging 1.36 goals a game. Apparently, Jack consistently putting up these big numbers, and I think it's also important to note that he's not just scoring goals when it doesn't matter. He's not putting in the 7th goal for Brazil. These are incredibly critical goals at a clutch point in time in the series. To be able to score in the final seconds of that game and also scoring in overtime to get that first victory, he single-handedly has kept Gen G in this series.
Yeah, Atomic was chasing demos and bumps right off the kick, and Gen G put themselves in an offense right off a kickoff, and Jack gets above Atomic there and summons the attention of the rest of G2's defense to clear this all the way down to the blue half. Now Chronic up high, Daniel down low. No, okay, beast mode. Just kind of throws him off. First Killer to the backboard though, and Daniel knows he has to scramble for this right in front of the net. A nice little touch out of beast mode to not let this go for free out of Gen G, as Chronic is all locked up by Daniel. He's just on his tail the whole time. Chronic steps up looking for the dunk, and this pinches off to the other end. Gen G, they're trying their best.
And that was a good zero boost play, and now a chance here. Atomic gonna go for the ceiling pass. Beast mode not able to do much with that. Ball back in the hands of Gen G, but you even saw on that play before, Daniel so good even on zero boost defensively to get up there and mess up his opponents, not give them that pass lane.
Still 0-0. Chronic against beast mode here, and this drops, but Daniel was heading the other way, so Gen G recover. And slowly but surely, they're helping each other out. Cross to the orange half. First Killer against beast mode. Oh, this stifles in front of the net, and G2 sweep it away.
And First Killer he got the space, the little hesitation. He was doing exactly what he wanted to. He's going for a 50, trying to power it through on the goal line. If not, your teammates will be there to clean it up. But G2 sweeps the line so fast that even in those situations, we even saw it before, even in those situations where the ball is sitting on the goal line after a 50, G2 manages to get there first. I just don't understand it.
I know. It takes like a whole army to score against G2, and then you don't want to overcommit and have all 3 of your players slamming against the wall, because what if G2 turn around and counterattack? And wow, that is against the right post. Oh, Jack at an open net. But Chronic still has a chance, but the ball is slow. G2 have had time to reorganize, and that opportunity for Gen G is gone.
Oh, that would have been so sweet. You saw what Jack was trying to do. Coming up so close. But now we see Gen G looking to extend this pressure. This is a lot of pressure that they're putting up. See if they can make the most of it. Daniel, though, trying to buy some time for his teammates to get boosted up.
Yeah, what Daniel can do with little boosts is incredible. Beast mode, Atomic in the air, juggling through, and Jack right in front of the net. Makes the initial stop as Chronic dives, but can't get there. And G2 strike first.
This whole play was crazy. You had Beast Mode leading the way to give Atomic the space to make a solo play. He opts to go for a flip reset, brings it back down to control the ball, gets it off the backboard, and Daniel finishes the job. That is showing you how critical every single member of G2 is and how willing to play off each other they are. It's not like they're making these plays individually. That play required everyone from G2 to be excellent, and they were.
Demos traded. As Chronic slows down the midfield, Daniel, shot right on target, but Gen G were established. Speaking of which, Jack up high, first killer below him. Chronic right behind us, that third man adding the pressure. Jack looking for bumps and can't find the gap or create any. And here's the counterattack out of G2. First killer pinches to the right, and Jack was worried about what Atomic could do. Manages to push that whole play out of the way, and G2 have slowed down the ball yet again. Beast mode and Atomic, though, race back to the blue half against Jack. It's been pretty back and forth.
Asben, you see, though, the demo from behind. Atomic has no boost on this play. A little of a bit of a heavy touch here as well. Time winding down. Gen G still scoreless. This G2 defense so stingy.
Ooh, I like that first killer was ready on the sidewall for a pass. But G2 will not let this go easy. Daniel is missing with Gen G trying to work this advantage. That 50 from Atomic stifles the momentum that Gen G were trying to ride from that demo. Daniel in beast mode recovered possession too, and first killer wants to push his luck, and the ball lands right in the box. And Chronic waits for his moment to shine. And Gen G are trying their best to get the first goal. 33 seconds left. And G2 could be going to match point just off of one.
You saw the pre-jump from Jack, and he came so close it actually threw his teammate off. And now the back pass from Atomic. Daniel will lob it towards net. A little bit of panic here from Gen G, but it's starting to stabilize. Pass attempt. Not going to find its way over to Chronic.
This must be exhausting to play against G2 after how many shots you've been putting on. It comes down to this last chance. You're in the orange half, and Chronic's 50 stifles to the ground. Jack is just covered by so many G2 members that he just can't get the ball in check. Jack manages to keep the ball up. First killer with a touch towards beast mode and Atomic. It lands on the ground, and G2 get to match point.
I just can't believe that ball actually bounced. I thought that surely was game right then and there. First killer had a look on the ball, was not able to keep it in the air, and now we see match point for G2. G2, they let that last game slip due to the excellence from apparently Jack, but Gen G could not clutch up this time, and now just one more game separating them and a trip to Copenhagen. If they win this series, they have locked in a spot in the first major.
It's tough. It's tough to score.
Oh, that was so
G2.
devastating.
Yeah. But man, it's just a triple threat type of team when you look at G2. not even needing it's just the one assist, the one goal is all G2 needs. They're not a team that take big risks. They're not a team that you can really force mistakes out of. G2 truly put on a masterclass when it comes to representing North America. And Gen G have always been within 1 or maybe 2, but now you have to reverse sweep or at least go all the way back 4 games to try to go to the finals. So long road ahead.
And Lemon, we also heard Gibbs talk about this as well. He compared this G2 to the old NRG, who would often let opponents be close in score, but the game was not close in terms of possession. I think Gen G actually did have a decent amount of possession. They had another look that a ground pinch attempt from apparently Jack very easily could have gone in, but it seems like this is just the MO of G2. They can let the games be close on the scoreline, but they just continue to dominate out there on the field.
Ooh, first killer not able to get there in time. And it must be heartbreaking because Gen G have gotten the ball to the goal line so many times, but it just won't cross. I don't know why, it must be a G2 thing. Now first killer with a chance, but he collides against Beast Mode and doesn't have Jack by his side. One of the best shooters on Gen G, but now he's back in the picture. First killer likes to play deep and wants to be the setup man. As Jack from the right to the left, and Chronic wasn't ready to kind of keep this dance going. First killer doing his best to create opportunities, but now this goes back to the blue half.
You can see Chronic doing his best here, but Atomic still beating him to that 50. However, we do see Gen G have the initiative here. Apparently Jack gonna take this airborne, lots of options, wanted to test the backboard, but you can see G2 not giving that up.
Yeah, they had 2 people ready on the backboard. Chronic is missing. Good slowdown on the play by Jack. And he has beast mode on his tail, and Jack's doing his best to deal with that pressure. Chronic against Atomic, and the 50 goes to Gen G. But as the ball went heavier away, G2 can sneak up on you. You gotta be careful of Atomic. Daniel with the fake and just puts it in for G2.
It gives you the impression of G2 playing with their food. Daniel just catches it and says, all right, I'll just 50 you both. And even on the build up to that play, you could see the panic clear attempt coming out from Gen G. They are stretched thin, trying to keep up with the speed of G2.
And Gen G scratching their heads like, why can't we have goal line saves like G2 did, even when there's 2 players from Gen G flipping into it. Daniel's just built like that, I guess, but Gen G only behind by 1, but it is match point for G2 to make a return to the grand final. Got real close for Daniel, good save by Jack, but to the corner, Beast Mode trying to center this out for Atomic, who dives but can't do much. Okay, good dodge on the bump there.
And that was a good idea from Chronic as well. If he lands that, maybe there would have been enough of a gap, but I think really the difference between G2 and Gen G right now is just that composure. You can see how composed G2 are. Daniel did not break a sweat on that play. He made that look easy, and that is so difficult to score on players of this caliber of Gen G. It just goes to show you how much G2 has been dominating, and that one might be it. It is, and Daniel reads it off the post.
Gen G have been doing their best to get rid of the ball when they are getting challenged and doing the best that they can with the rebound, with the 50. But in this case, Daniel is just that guy. 2-0 for G2 heading into the second half. And it doesn't seem like much, but against the #1 defense in North America, it's a tough task for Gen G to try and match the score.
Yeah, and you can see Daniel pre-jumping at the midfield. He only had a half a tank of boost as well. This is the most confident G2 that we've seen, and in the Gen G, they're gonna need a miracle here to come back, and maybe that's the miracle, but it doesn't go in. Apparently, Jack off the bar and out. A dazzling effort, but just short, and now Gen G's gonna have to play defense.
A lot of close opportunities for Gen G. I can't believe it. Just unlucky at this point. Chronic gone from the play too. Gen G's offense is weak. In beast mode, the counterattack is fast. Daniel's ready on the left. It drops down to Atomic. No, he kind of waits. Knew Chronic was going to get there first. As Jack keeps the train rolling for Gen G. Great touch by Daniel to get rid of the ball.
Oh, this might be a challenge.
No way!
He dimes gives it up to Atomic. This G2 are insane. Atomic actually jumped before Beast Mode even made contact on the ball. And on the run, in the air, Beast Mode hits Atomic on the numbers to get that third goal.
G2 are insane. I can already hear the First Touch podcast going off about this. If you're a G2 fan, you might want to check that one out. But Daniel, now with control, Atomic looks for bumps, ready on the back wall. His first killer is right in front of the net. As Chronic stabilizes Gen G. They're down by 3, but haven't been able to score even in the last game and this game. Jack and first killer pressure through the right, and Chronic hesitates to step up. Just needing that extra little bit of power for Gen G to cross the goal line. Need more firepower than that. First killer just getting out of everyone's way. Chronic to Jack, to the backboard where Daniel and Beast Mode hold hands to not let Gen G brew anything special.
This is going to be routine, it looks like, for G2. They have stopped everything that Gen G's brought at them. Beast Mode going for a flip reset double. Final 30 seconds. You can see Beast Mode again just floating in front of net. They are in flow state right now, Lemon.
Yeah, and with this win that comes out in the next 17 seconds, unless something crazy happens, G2 will be clinching their spot to the major. And Gen G, they took a game, so it's a different series compared to that last final, and Jack not able to score in that chance, even with Daniel in the net. So a few more seconds, and Gen G gets shut out in back-to-back games. G2 not only go to the grand final in a one-sided fashion, but they also clinched their spot to the major. A big congratulations to G2. It is unfair to play against them.
Who's going to beat him? Who's going to have the answer? Well, honestly, it might be Luminosity as we look ahead to that grand final. G2 dominating performance once again over Gen G Mobile One Racing, but they have had close series with Luminosity in the past, and now everybody in North America, everybody around the world, going to be tuning in to see if this beast of G2 will ever be slayed.
And I know Daz is a big Gen G fan, and he was saying, you know, that final, that's just one series. One bad day doesn't mean anything. But now we have a sample size of 2, and at least Gen G are taking more and more games. But G2 solidify their spot to the grand final with a lower bracket, well, I guess against Luminosity, but we'll see if the lower bracket will stand a chance, James.
Well, certainly Luminosity, we know that they can give G2 a run for their money, but will they do it this time, or will G2 continue their unbelievable run? Let's find out after the break.
Gen G managed to actually get a game this time, but other than that, it's the same song, second verse. G2 has Gen G's number. They beat them 4-1 here. Atomic and Daniel paving the way to the grand finals once more. It'll be G2 versus Luminosity for the title of Open Qualifier number 2 champion here, Gibbs.
And I can't even say it was a bad series by Gen G. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but G2 is just looking on another level right now. They don't make mistakes, and anytime you make a small mistake, they just counter you. Like, I think it was game 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. We saw a play by Chronic. He goes up in the air for like an aerial play. He kind of misses. Perfect counterattack, and G2 just strikes immediately. First killer, he goes off his back wall, makes a misstep. Immediately counterattacked by G2. Then the passing plays come out the goal line. Defense is insane, James. G2 is just on another level.
You really do wonder if there's anyone that can beat him. There was a one game in game 3 where apparently Jack had 2 massively clutch goals. Wasn't able to score that ground pinch. That maybe could have changed the series as well. But the precision and the speed from G2 is unparalleled at the moment. You see pre-jumps on the one pass, beast mode launched a pass over to Atomic, who jumped before the contact on the pass even went. It was a perfect pass and a perfect goal. G2 highlight reel machines. And I think the big thing too is mentally, you can just tell they are playing with 100% trust in their teammates and 100% confidence in themselves. And when you have that plus their ability as individual players, it makes G2 the North American super team.
They are the team to beat. They are in the finals once more. G2 versus Luminosity, the challengers this time around. Gen G couldn't take a game in the last grand finals. Can Luminosity do one better? We're about to find out. The teams are getting locked and loaded in. We will get that game underway momentarily here. Cheese, Magic Bear, and Rlcs trying to take it to Atomic, Beast Mode, and Daniel.
So I'm going to talk about G2 again, and the one thing I love about this team that I used to hate is they got solid defense. They have now played 20 games. They have given up 18 goals. Less than a goal per game throughout this tournament. They're sitting at 0.9 goals against. The next highest, number 2 defense, is Gen G at 1.88. So it's more than double what their goals conceded are. G2 is on another level. Now, the only difference here is Luminosity is the number 1 offense by far throughout this tournament, 0.75 better. But a lot of those wins came in Swiss, where they're putting up 8 and 9 goal games. You don't expect that versus G2, but Luminosity's offense has been great. The problem is, number 2 offense, James, was, of course, Gen G, and they only just gave up 3 goals in 5
to me, though,
games.
Luminosity is such a different team from a playstyle perspective, and really that player there, Rlcs, I think he's going to be the key in this series. Will he be able to disrupt the G2 system? We know that he loves to spend time in front of the ball. He loves to go for those bumps and demos, and we've seen how Cheese can score. I think, shout out to Lemon for calling Cheese to be the dark horse. He had an amazing series last series, but to me, I think a lot of eyes need to be on Rlcs to see if he can bust up that goal line defense that G2 has been bringing.
Absolutely. And that's the only way you break up that trust, right? Is you demo them off the field. That's the only way it works.
Gotta get in their head, too. Maybe we see Villain Rlcs come back.
You've been talking about the G2 defense. I agree. Oh my goodness, their defense looks terrifying. And you talked about the LG offense and how good it was, but most of it was in Swiss. Let me tell you, it's not just Swiss though. They got one man. He is a bucket of cheese over there. That guy is crazy. In the last 15 games, Cheese has scored 23 goals in the last 15 games. That's 1.5 goals per game. And only one of those games did he not score any goals. And in that game, he had 3 assists. So if Cheese can be not just the dark horse, but the shining light on this roster, the G2 defense might have their hands full here. True. Also, fun fact here. This is the record you don't really want to hold, but Magic Bear just broke the record and set the record for most main events qualified for before making a grand finals at 25. He's qualified for 25 main events here. This is his first grand finals. Congratulations, Magic Bear. Glad to see you here. See if he can get it done. Hashtag LG. Hashtag G2's in the chat. Let us know who you think's going to win. Are there any believers? Gentlemen, I'm very worried. We're about to arm Spaceman and Corelli with some primo meme material here, assuming LG wins, but
The only time this team has been tested in G2 was Qualifier 1 in the quarterfinals. They played this Luminosity squad. That was a 4-1, but games 2 and 3 came down to very, very close games that Luminosity could have won and been up 3-0 in that series. They let them get away with 2 long overtimes. Can Luminosity, they have to begin early. They have to win the games 1 and 2. They just need to get that lead, because if you don't, G2's going to roll, James, and G2, number 1 team in North America, for sure, Luminosity's got to play upset.
Sir, I think any sane person would have to take G2 in a prediction here, just looking at the body of work that they've put in. But LG has made the games close before, and we might be able to see some fireworks.
Look, chat, Spaceman and Corelli are anything if sane. They are crazy individuals, and chat's got their back as well. Everyone wants to see if G2 can be taken down here, folks. It's a David versus Goliath story if we've ever seen one, but the queso is flowing. It's hot and spicy. It's time for your grand finals. G2 versus Luminosity.
They say a great offense beats a great defense. Some would say a great defense beats a great offense. Well, you got the number 1 defense against the number 1 offense. Something's got to give. G2 looking to go back-to-back. Luminosity stands in their way.
The beast and the bear. But there are plenty other parts at play. Welcome to your grand finals in North America. This one's going to be a close one.
Once again, G2 comes into a final facing a team that's averaging over 3 goals a game. They shut down Gen G 2 weeks ago. They shut them down a moment ago, and they're going to work on LG now.
Again, Daniel, this pass up forward to beast mode. Beast mode gets there in time. Beautiful place shot. This is the G2 efficiency we've seen at the start of the day. They're carrying it on.
It is unreal how a team can be so dominant in this region. But there was a kind of a consensus, Daz, that, okay, if there are 2 teams that are going to compete on the international stage, it'd be G2 and Gen G. I think that has just been reduced to G2. Maybe Luminosity will have something to say about it. They've got the ball on the right side of the field, but only because Atomic has allowed it. As Beast Mode dances around Cheese, he'll bring this down to ground. Here comes Atomic. Got it to an open space in front, but Daniel wasn't there, and Magic Bear actually able to slip past him. Now a shot coming netward, and Atomic has that save.
Interesting to see how Luminosity adapt to this. Definitely does feel like there is indeed a gap here between G2 and everyone else. Luminosity has closed that gap, but G2 right now is showing why they're the better team. Daniel strikes. It's a 2-goal lead for G2.
It isn't that G2 plays to the level of its competition. It plays to a level above its competition on any given matchup. I mean, where every other team in North America has either their kryptonite or they're just like any other team, G2 just looks stellar every time we see them. And we knew it would be a loaded roster. I mean, you add Daniel and Beast Mode with all their chemistry, and while it didn't pan out at the very start of the first regional, they still beat everybody in front of them. And then they really put it together against Gen G in the finals. And that's the G2 we've seen ever since then.
Yeah, G2 is still continuing to kind of build up on that. The playstyle only getting more and more refined. Rlcs tried to set something up, though, with the lead block, and we ended up just seeing, again, G2, even when it feels like you have them on the ropes offensively, there's always somebody getting involved, cutting out the play. Even that goal line defense is like a wall sometimes, but Magic Bear able to get the touch to throw off the defense, and Cheese a great follow.
What a setup here. And the defense, rightly so, just kind of slows down like, wait, what? What a touch. I mean, brilliant shot to get that anywhere near the mark. Cheese there on the doorstep to finish the job. Tell you what, if that didn't go in, you probably could have ended this game right there. This waterfall down.
Oh, whoa.
Put it in the net himself. Rlcs barely clears that out of harm's way. And Cheese looking for Reynolds, only finding Atomic. Here comes G2 again. Daniel flip reset, sent away by Cheese, but not a convincing clear and more effort needed. Cheese not credited with a save there. He should have been, as he keeps G2 at bay.
Atomic trying to get a touch out. G2 though still making a move. Oh, Beast Mode tried to get the musty. Almost a follow-up from Atomic, but was cut away from Rlcs. Cheese already sitting with 3 saves this game, as his defense has been a note and will most likely be needed plenty more times throughout this series. G2, no strangers to constantly peppering the net, but Luminosity been able to keep this a 1-goal game for the time being.
Magic Bear just a little floater there, trying to test the G2 defense, maybe get them to double commit, get out of position. More hopeful than anything. Nobody puts a hand up here. Cheese a reaction save, and G2 still kept off the board, but they just have LG at their mercy right now.
It's just a matter of time right now. Luminosity have to try to find some room. Rlcs and Atomic trade demos, so Daniel will be back for a moment. Buys Atomic enough time to get back into the play. You see Cheese on the way back, so is Magic Bear. Rlcs trying to slow things down, but Cheese able to get a strong touch upfield. You see Beast Mode again, just opting to get control. Great first touch out of him. Atomic also not letting this ball get too far. You see Daniel waiting on the sidewall, just going to show you G2 always looking for each other. Daniel got a bump, Atomic got a shot, but Cheese a great block.
It hasn't been relentless pressure. There have been some breaks in the action, but pretty darn close to it. Now 10 shots from G2, maybe about to be an 11th, but that one gets free, and maybe a little fortunate for Atomic that it was a little bit wide, because I don't know that he was going to catch up to it. Here goes Beast Mode right at Magic Bear, more pressure. That is the 11th shot to just 2 out of Luminosity, but Cheese has one of them that ultimately found its way into the net. Actually, Magic Bear had that shot. Cheese, I don't think, was credited with the shot that went in. Here goes Daniel, right down the middle. Atomic in support, and more defense needed out of LG. Magic Bear does get him on the right side. One miss from Atomic might have opened the door just a little bit. Rlcs with 14. Magic Bear the demo. Daniel still there at the back, and that forces Luminosity back one more time. Time for one last push. Magic Bear tried to control instead of booming it away. Now they have no time left, and now they have no life. G2 hangs on for game 1.
What an offensive start here for G2. Out shooting Luminosity 12-2. It was just G2 offense for a majority of this game, and if Luminosity weren't up to the task, they were going to give up goals within that. Defense was solid towards the back half, but again, them not being able to break out and create offensive opportunities is the biggest challenge here. G2 able to move around, they played spacing really well, they look for each other, and it makes it really hard for Luminosity to intercept that. They've got to figure that out going into it, but of course G2, especially coming off the momentum from last series, looking in form.
It's kind of funny when a team's goals allowed per game goes up when they allow 1. That's how dominant G2's defense has been. They come in allowing 0.9 a game. So just any blip on that radar means it goes up. And the one they gave up, Daz, I mean, it was kind of fluky, right? I mean, you don't expect that touch out of Magic Bear, and then it stays on the goal line. They at least had a chance to clear it off the line before Cheese tapped it home. We're seeing something real special out of G2 Stride right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Luminosity, when they do have their chances, they jump on it. Cheese was there very quickly and was able to get that one, I think, before anyone had too much time to react. He kind of read the ball well. But G2 definitely, again, seemed to just, the way they play this game feels almost suffocating if you're going up against them. You feel very exposed. And as a team, trying to figure out how to break out of that and try to find some comfortability is always going to be the game plan here. Of course, if there's any team that is prepared to do that, it is Luminosity. They've got the most experience against this roster. Now, what will they do with a chance here in game 2 to kind of change the narrative of the series?
Rlcs tried a slow play there and just had the ball knocked right over his head. Now Cheese with Rlcs forward. He'll take it himself. Tried to drop it down to Rlcs. Beast Mode in the way. Now Magic Bear right at Beast Mode, who just happens to be there too. Why not? Flip reset to go forward. Daniel set it high, maybe off of Rlcs. This is floating to the crossbar. Still loose in front, off the bar again, and Rlcs will clear it away. Tell you what, Rlcs was completely helpless there. Needed that shot to be off the mark. Fortunately for LG it was, and now that one goes deep into G2 territory, but Cheese is deleted off the field.
Gotta keep eyes out on Magic Bear, trying to keep that composure here. A couple of panic touches could be disastrous. Cheese, though, found it. Luminosity sitting so many in front to disrupt G2, and they get a free look for Cheese.
Daniel and Atomic run into each other on the back wall. Did I see that right? Well, it looked like Daniel was just knocked completely out of the play, and I think he bumped off of Atomic. So either way, G2 have a blunder defensively. Luminosity takes advantage of it. Cheese, by the way, after getting demolished, gets right back into the play for that score. Is now Rlcs off to the side. Magic Bear now into the corner, and Beast Mode will take over. Atomic trying to just bully Magic Bear way downfield, almost like Magic Bear was trying to hold him against the wall, and Atomic was having none of it. He gets a piece of that and allows Daniel to come up into the play. So we see Luminosity with a lead. How long will it last? Beast Mode right at Cheese. They haven't shied away from Cheese at all. I mean, as great as he's been against the other teams in the field, G2 are willing to go right at him like, okay, try it. As Atomic almost scored that one. Now Daniel again.
On the ball.
Oh, stopped by Cheese.
Atomic!
And Atomic the rebound.
That's the G2 pressure. I mean, look how close to just stick with it. Daniel gets a touch. He's able to follow it up. He always stays close to the ball, forcing you to have to try to play his touch because, again, it's in front of your goal line. You can score. As long as he gets you out of the play, that's exactly what he wants to do. He's trying to set up Atomic the best way possible, does just there, and now G2 able to tie things up.
G2 not a team concerned at all about its shooting percentage. They're willing to set up those juicy rebounds, and they know that Luminosity doesn't have necessarily the best rebound control. It's one of the toughest things to do, to actually consistently get a ball out of a scoring position defensively. And Luminosity have left some opportunities available for G2, but they've been able to capitalize on. That one's loose in front. Cheese will score.
Cheese has been moving through the defense pretty well. This one is solid touch, and Atomic just misses the read off the corner. Big read there to make. He tries to recover, but Cheese has the ball every time. He's shooting 2 for 2, and again, eyes on him. He's been doing super solid over the course of today, continuing up from earlier. He's going to be needed for Luminosity if they want to take this series.
On the cusp of scoring his 40th goal of the weekend. A monstrous performance out of Cheese. Rlcs, demo in the air.
Oh, Magic!
Bear flexes his muscles. 3-1.
And there's the Big Bear. Rlcs leads in front, takes away the beast, and Atomic tries to get a touch, can't get a nice read on it. Magic with the dunk. LG up by 2. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go.
Better dunk than anything we saw last night. Here goes Atomic with Beast Mode forward. Drop down in the wing, and it just didn't result in anything there. Good win by Cheese. Who else? Beast Mode will collect this. He'll try to go right down the middle, but he gets nudged out of the play. Here come Magic Bear and Rlcs again. Oh my! Magic Bear almost scored that. Oh, mercy.
Wow, and then look at this. This is just a free ball right off the back. While Rlcs and Magic Bear had to both get boost, so no one's there to get a follow there. But hold on, wait a second. Luminosity are starting to cut through this strong G2 defense. Here's a chance, though. They got numbers advantage up the field. Atomic looking for Beast Mode. Cheese recognized it. Daniel puts a shot on. Thought he had a chance there to sink it into the net. Good save out from Magic Bear. Magic Bear starting to elevate. So is the rest of Luminosity Gaming. Rlcs, fake challenge, but Beast Mode called the bluff and banked the shot.
Throw it at the net. Hope something good happens. Magic Bear just gets caught looking. 3-2. G2 right back in it. Has been a big turnaround after outshooting Luminosity 12-2 in the first game. But watch out off the kickoff. Rlcs turned upfield, and he paid the price.
No way. Just like that, back all tied up. Big win off the kickoff. Daniel able to get the follow. You said it, Reynolds with the turn up on field. And just like that, they worked so hard to get this 2-goal lead, and it just in a snap, it's gone.
Just like that. 3-all. Magic Bear sent away by Beast Mode. Atomic thought about it. Left a corner boost available too that Magic Bear was able to steal. That demo takes out Cheese, and that takes out 90% of the Luminosity offense.
No, what
and
the?
Everybody parts, and Beast Mode just walks right through.
That should just not be a goal. What is going on defensively from Luminosity? A double commit there on the goal line, and Beast Mode has the easiest net of his life.
That can't happen. Here we are. Daniel left it for Beast Mode. Intercepted.
Oh.
Cheese going after Atomic. It's still in front. Magic Bear can't get there in time. Cheese does steal the corner boost though, and then won that ball deep into the opposite corner. So where LG had retreated, Cheese stayed up and almost made something out of it. Now Reynolds is trying to maybe have Daniel win that challenge, in air quotes, back to Cheese. It didn't work out. And then despite the demo on Cheese, LG break out, but they only got 7 seconds. Daniel through the air, trying to waste the remainder of the time. One last shot on, sent away by Reynolds. Cheese got to get under it. He does, but he's lobbed it way downfield. Magic Bear's got to get on his horse. Cheese can't catch it, and G2 take another.
They stole that one from Luminosity. Well, I mean, to be honest, Luminosity gave it to them because they played so well for the majority of the game. They get scored on once. It was a good play from G2. But then kickoff goal. Then after kickoff goal, double commit to win the net. Yeah, we got a timeout, Luminosity. Honestly, I think that's a good call. Felt like if this one continued on the way it was going, series potentially slipping away. They're playing so close, though, against G2. Big lead we saw there early. They've been making them look uncomfortable, and they've been actually giving themselves really open looks at the net. So to look at them kind of drop that, it is kind of concerning because they had everything in the right spot. Up 2, good amount of time left on the clock. They just have to keep playing that consistency, but sometimes the G2 pressure will do it to you.
Yeah, pressure does some real strange things to teams. And unfortunately, Luminosity just didn't have an answer for the pressure of just playing against G2, it seems. I mean, there were a couple of goals there that you kind of scratch your head at. And unfortunately for Reynolds, he gets haunted by another late kickoff goal that he's going to look back at and go, you know what? Probably should have played that one a little differently. But now they have to look forward. Use what's happened here in the first couple of games. Try and process what G2's attack is. And listen, they seem unflappable, G2, but there have been cracks in the armor. Problem is, Luminosity hasn't been able to keep them out of their net.
You gotta take time here. Of course, there's also time G2 have to start to discuss things as well. But you can see again, this one does really come down to, okay, we've got these mid-game adjustments that we got to make. I think it's just a composure thing right now for Luminosity at this point. You can see a little bit of the panic on some of the plays defensively, especially in that one towards the end. If they stay a little bit more composed, that third man back, not so eager to jump, then who knows? Could have been an entirely different situation that game. But you can't take it back. So here we go. G2 up 2 in the series. Chance to put this on match point here in the grand finals. Can Luminosity, do they get the timeout buff? We'll have to see right here.
You would have some kind of a timeout with the level of brain power they've got. They're running things behind the scenes with them, especially with Raw Greg, but on the other side, you've got one of the better coaches in North America in Sathu. A lot of questions around him when he kind of took over for Jazzo, like, okay, is he up for this task? He's answered that question in brilliant fashion. Cheese way downfield for Reynolds. Atomic has played it out of the corner. There is Cheese. Infield pass, and Magic Bear turned off. He realized that G2 was all over it. And then a lot of chaos in front there, and I think LG having a real tough time reading what exactly G2's doing as Daniel forces that one through.
Daniel, I mean, look at this. Gets control, goes up 47 boosts, just plays the 50 perfectly, bounces off, and Reynolds will get credit with the own goal double. But that's exactly what G2 will do to you. They force you to go up. You got to play it right. If not, it's going in your net.
Poor Reynolds, man. That's the second time that's happened to him today. Goal going in off of him that wouldn't have otherwise. It's a real tough spot, though. You got to make that challenge. Here's Magic Bear. Boost and ball, and plenty of time as he dances around Daniel. Took out beast mode. It's only Atomic. He's deleted, and Daniel got back into the play. So too did beast mode. The window was open for Luminosity, and still G2 slammed it shut.
Daniel all over the ball, no matter where he is positioned on the field. Anything he can do to shut down Luminosity. Chance here for beast mode, drops it to Atomic. Atomic was looking for Daniel, but Daniel will try to play this off the wall. It does end up slowing down Cheese there, so he won't be able to get a double for free. You see Reynolds looking for some more bumps. But of course, this one still remains within G2 possession. They've got the ball, but lots of time here on the clock. Anytime they have this control, you see again, Daniel just playing it so close, wants to play a 50 out, wants to try to see if he can get something that just helps out beast mode and Atomic as much as possible.
Reynolds realized he had to dive in there as quickly as he could. Couldn't get a piece of that. Now beast mode. Loses that out to Cheese. Magic Bear can keep the attack flowing here for Luminosity, but he lost it. Now it's Atomic against Cheese. Centered, nobody home as Reynolds rolls it out. Boy, this ball spent a lot of time in the center, deep in Luminosity territory. Only a matter of time before G2 just breaks it wide open, it feels. Here goes Daniel. Got Magic Bear on skates for a moment. Beast mode again. Daniel's gonna get out of the play. Not for very long. He could turn on this, but he'll let Atomic take it. He gets demolished again. Atomic has been a popular target for Luminosity in this series. They haven't gotten anything out of it. Even though they get 2 demos, Daniel finds a way back into the play. There's no wasted movement getting back defensively on the part of G2.
Oh, and you can, again, it's just the way they're looking, the way they're moving right now. They cut anything out from Luminosity. They get that demo on a man back. Now they have to rethink their entire approach upfield. This is a team that Luminosity, they also do play well for each other and work off how each other's doing on the ball. So if someone's just disrupted, then that can sometimes shut down all offenses and even the defense as well. Demo on the back end opens it up for Atomic, and he sets it home. Beautiful play from him.
After Magic Bear's taken out, you've got one coming back and one coming from the goal, and confusion over who's supposed to be the primary defender here. Probably should have been Cheese with Reynolds kind of filling in behind him. Instead, they both just kind of half go, and Atomic picks them apart. It's just a mistake you don't see often out of G2 that other teams will make. The level of chemistry and teamwork that you see out of G2, it's their advantage, and it shines even brighter when you see that fall apart from other teams. Cheese trying to work out of the zone. Daniel brings it right back in, and it's more G2 offense yet again.
It just feels like there's not many options for Luminosity here. They're doing their best, but G2 have their number right now. And oh my goodness, Daniel almost adding another one to the score total. Shot from Atomic, no, it's a pass to beast mode, goes to Daniel. 1, 2, 3. Cheese still able to get the clearance. Reynolds trying to see if he can force this downfield. Wants to see if he can make it a 1-goal game. Almost that one on the goal line. Atomic able to make a save. Follow-up from Reynolds. Blocked out again by Atomic. G2 are letting nothing through.
Out of everybody that isn't on the G2 team in this lobby, Cheese is the only one who realized where that play was going just a moment ago from G2. That's insane. This kid's getting a lot of credit, and he's still not getting enough. He has been phenomenal. Unfortunately, they're against an absolute giant in G2 who are about to go on match point, having a shutout in game 3. Daniel, one more touch. This will be centered. Cheese might be able to walk it home. Not even. No mercy, no quarter. G2, 4 match points.
It looks so composed as well. I mean, you see Beast Mode on the cams, Matt smiling. It just feels like they've got their plan set. And even though Luminosity, a team that does a lot of preparation, try their best, it just isn't enough. That game, they were only limited to 2 shots in that shutout. G2 had 7. And even though it's 2-goal games, the scoreline's close, but the field presence, when you watch it, just feels like, okay, it's G2's game to lose. And they show no signs of losing.
Can we talk about the format for a moment, where everybody talks about how volatile things are and how insecure it is for these top teams, and how maybe it's not fair that so-and-so doesn't get an invite here and there past a certain stage? Listen, if you want to be considered an elite professional in this area, you have to be able to take care of business against the teams that are below you. And so far, there are very few teams in North America that actually do that. G2's doing it against teams at the next highest level beneath them, because they are clearly on a level of their own. Up 3-0 now. This team isn't going to lose to random bubble fun time playing in round 3 of the open quals. Here we go again, game 4. Can G2 close out another sweep in the finals?
Looking to see if they can do so. Luminosity not done yet. It really does come down to how well they start here. They are able to kind of get things going, but if they slow things down, let off the gas a little bit, you see G2 start to pounce. Atomic was trying to look for somebody. I think it was Daniel. Beast Mode now with a strong clearance. Daniel taking his time. Goes for a low challenge. Atomic up quick, and Rlcs needed to make a touch there, and he does. Cheese under pressure, but Magic Bear there to help him out. Luminosity kind of get out of that for the time being, but not before Beast Mode. With a great challenge from him to kind of keep pace back here for G2. Good pickup from Daniel now, and Beast Mode actually does get demoed on the back end, so Daniel will try to solo, almost got the dunk through. Good save from Cheese, and good beat from Magic Bear here in the midfield as well. Atomic had to stop Rlcs, otherwise it could have been a chance for a goal. Wait, no, it will be, but Daniel got the block on Cheese's shot.
It was Daniel last time when LG had a shot in the previous game after the 2 demos. Daniel saved him. And then Beast Mode clips this one. Magic Bear finally got it through. Luminosity in front.
It's only a matter of time. I mean, you see Cheese initially, good challenge there, not the best touch on the clearance, but had to rush it. And then G2 started to scramble. Magic Bear knew he had a good chance to score, lined up the shot well. Now Luminosity, they start off with the lead, but they've got to maintain it. Still plenty of time here for G2.
Well, Cheese lost that one to Daniel. It falls down for Beast Mode, the longtime duo connecting again. Daniel for Atomic, tie game again.
Sometimes it just looks like they're in free play, the way they play. No one contesting this. It's just free pass to one, touch off the backboard, free shot for Atomic, it's in your net. They get that back so quickly.
Gonna throw this out there just because I find it fascinating. Again, our statistician Direct is absolutely awesome. You look at Vitality last spring, their first 2 regionals with Zen, they go 10-1 in series. Of course, I believe it was the bracket reset where they had lost one. As a shot here for Magic Bear. No, Rlcs will follow it up. We'll get to that in a moment as Rlcs gives LG the lead yet again.
Look at that, great touch out. Magic Bear, beautiful read. They're able to get there quickly, and Rlcs has all the net to shoot at. He decides, let me put it in the top left corner. Luminosity still showing some fight here. They got the lead again. Match point situation, but they are not crumbling under pressure.
So Vitality have been 10-1 through their first 11 series. G2, 11-0. Obviously a different standard of competition, but impressive nonetheless, especially when you consider they've won 85% of their individual games. Cheese will have this one. Luminosity trying to just put a tiny dent into that number. Give themselves a little bit of life here in this grand final and prove that, yes, somebody can actually stand up against the big bad boogeyman.
They got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to maintain a 1-goal lead against G2. Good luck. Right now, still battling to see if they can extend that score line. But look, instantly passed out. Atomic was trying to set up a double there, but did get denied. Now Magic Bear, who initially challenged Atomic, goes all the way downfield to just see if he can continue to keep this ball on the orange half. G2 moving left to right as the ball kind of switches sides of the field here. And they're not able to get out. Good spacing here for Luminosity. The challenge game has been good for them right now, but not able to really set up a shot opportunity from it. G2 will still be able to carry it into the blue half.
2 minutes remain. G2 has been, by comparison to the rest of their tournament, a little docile here in game 4.
Oh, that's a bad mistake.
Oh, double commit. He just about put it in the net himself, and Magic Bear will clean it up.
And you got Atomic and Daniel both going up for this. Atomic probably should have left it for Daniel there. Got the touch, threw him off, open look, and then Magic Bear scores. We've seen this score line before, 3-1. Luminosity have been, this time, gifted a goal here from the G2 mistake. Now all they've got to do is force the issue. They look to be doing that, though. They're continuing to keep this one in front. That one goes off the back while Red's not able to get there in time. But LG just not overcommitting. Let's keep G2 on their own half, and let's keep testing them.
Nobody has ever swept back-to-back grand finals in North America. Gen G came the closest last year. They dropped a game in their 2 consecutive wins, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen here. Magic Bear's got a hat trick with Luminosity on the ropes.
Look at that. I mean, again, Daniel there, not really the best touch, trying to get it past one, slips away from him, and Magic Bear right on top of the ball. Beautiful shot out of the Bear. 4-1's the scoreline in game 4. And Luminosity are showing no signs of slowing down. This is the shakiest we've seen G2 look maybe almost all season, the way they've been playing.
Give yourself a shot if you can score right about now as Daniel denied by Rlcs. G2 still swarming, and Cheese swipes across for that save. And downfield, Rlcs trying to put it away, but it's sent away by Beast Mode. But even if you score here, you've seen how shaky LG have been on some kickoffs. Maybe you can get a cheap one, get a couple, and maybe you can make a game of it. So LG can't afford to just rest on this. They need to keep the pressure on here. It's the most uneasy 3-goal lead anybody could possibly have at this point, just because of who they're up against. Magic Bear for Rlcs, intercepted.
Oh, Cheese, too far forward.
Oh, and he can't put it on target. It went high, and Rlcs empty net, and he couldn't score.
He couldn't score, but 15 seconds left. I think he'll be okay, especially with Magic Bear pushing that one back into the goal line and almost getting another dunk. Time ticking down, and Luminosity backs against the wall, but they show signs of life here. They take game 4.
A big smile from Slater. Happy to get 1 on the board. Again, he's done it before. He's done it a couple times. Can he do it again, this time to G2? As mighty as they have been. Raw Greg, again, not letting the team get too high or too low. That's kind of one of the things we talked about with OG as we look back at the Mobile One high performance replay, and it's mostly all Luminosity Gaming. They battled back, facing elimination, facing the end of the tournament. They send us to a 5th game. Will we see a 6th? Will we see a 7th?
Yeah, can they build on this is the question, because, I mean, like we said, I mean, for Luminosity, they played well, but G2 didn't really look too hot there. A lot of missed touches, saw some whiffs, some desperate plays there late in the game. And this is a closeout game here. Of course, you've already clinched the major, but again, you still want to be able to win this one. Points again for Worlds conversations, etc., etc. But I wonder what the adjustment looks like here. Of course, Luminosity seem very confident, composed, but they got a long road to go if they want to make this one close. Still a match point situation, 3-1 the series scoreline. We're on DFH Stadium as G2 are trying to close out the grand finals. Luminosity trying to attempt a reverse sweep.
You got a long road to go before they're even thinking about reverse sweep. Maybe it's in the back of their minds, or they got to deal with game 5 first. Atomic lob ahead. Cheese, a little slow getting to that, but he had it read. With G2 not quite on his back just yet. Now Reynolds, one demo, but it left Cheese to make that save at the crossbar. Daniel trying to get in front of Magic Bear. Cheese will have this. Credit him with another save. He just continues racking up his numbers. He may need to make another stop as Magic Bear jumps in front. And Cheese has that one rolled out. Doesn't have anything to work with at all. Atomic picked his pocket, and Magic Bear can't catch up. Beast Mode scores as they just wear down Luminosity.
Let's walk the dog, bring him out. Look at this. Turned it on a dime. LG was just simply not ready for that, but Beast Mode was. He was playing close to Atomic. Once he recognized Atomic had that challenge, immediately pushed forward downfield to secure the goal.
Didn't feel like it was much of a scoring chance out of G2 until they finally got that ball away from Cheese, and then it was just like, oh, well, Luminosity has nothing to work with. If they're out of position at all, they're not going to be able to recover. Double commit there between Daniel and Beast Mode, which, again, that's some of the early stage of G2 that we saw. It doesn't really cost them much. Daniel still chasing Magic Bear. He'll circle around on this, too. A lot of players would have just retreated and let Atomic turn. Daniel took it instead. Atomic parks the brakes, and then Magic Bear redirect home.
And they just forced their way upfield, winning 50 after 50. Reynolds sees an opportunity to push it downfield. It says, go get it, Magic. And the Bear strikes. Tied up game. Good counterattack from Luminosity.
I think maybe G2 just caught being a little too aggressive, right? I mean, maybe Atomic probably should have just kept racing back. Might have been in position to stop that. He had no support behind him. Here goes Reynolds. From the wing. Beast Mode, the initial stop, slowed him down for Atomic. And he'll bring that away from Magic Bear and force Reynolds to take charge instead. Waiting for Cheese to get back involved, and he does with a shot, but Daniel with the save.
Yeah, good shooting there. Anytime you see Luminosity with space, she's been very efficient on the free shot. Chance here for Beast Mode, and the Beast strikes. G2 in the lead.
Everything we said about Cheese in the last series, say it about Beast Mode. He's got 5 goals now. And after that miss up at the crossbar, it was completely free. G2 in front with 3 minutes left. Trying to close out Luminosity, their second shot at clinching this final. Beast Mode nudged by Reynolds. Now it's Atomic with Daniel trying to disrupt Magic Bear. He's in an awkward spot. Beast Mode, double to leave it. But you saw Daniel maybe start to come up, changed his mind, and a good thing. He could get back and defend this alongside Atomic.
They're playing light touches forward. I like that from Reynolds. He's just going to get the boost. Atomic demos Cheese, but Daniel's back all alone. Reynolds went too far forward, so no, he wasn't able to take a shot there. After what was kind of a free look off the backboard. Of course, Cheese couldn't get there. He was demoed by Atomic earlier on, so he was just busy respawning, literally. Luminosity have to start making the most of their chances here, because G2 are going to strike hot every single time. Big goal from Atomic.
Party is like, okay, I mean, if he can actually convert that going against his momentum, sure. The other side of that is, all right, nice shot. Perfectly placed. Defense had the entire right 2/3 of the net covered, and Atomic hit it where they weren't. Beast Mode turned off of this. That kind of threw off Luminosity for a moment, but now Cheese with Reynolds running forward. Atomic had a full tank of boost to start this play. He can actually stay with it now as it goes over top of Magic Bear. Reynolds was demolished. He's back into the play, and Atomic won't let this get into G2 territory just yet.
Beast Mode. I'm just trying to keep this one in the blue half here. Oh, Atomic, good bump off of Reynolds, taking him off the play. You see Reynolds trying to catch up, but here's Beast Mode. Has Daniel way back. Atomic actually tried to pre-jump something earlier, but now Daniel will try to get involved. Luminosity seem very set, but this is a very calculated approach here from G2. Beast Mode wanting to keep it in. Daniel still playing back pretty far for a third. Atomic gets a light touch for Daniel, dives, but Rlcs able to get the save out. Beast Mode again picking up the ball, has Atomic midfield, plays it low. Beast Mode! Big goal here, which could cement the tournament for G2.
Mirror image of what we saw in the previous game, except this time it's G2 dominating. Final 117. Luminosity need to go forward, and they can't even off the kickoff. Rlcs destroyed. Daniel, slow play. The respawn right in front of the ball through LG for a loop, but they do get downfield. Magic Bear denied by Atomic, and the rebound cleaned up by Daniel and Beast Mode. And this version of G2 looks unstoppable.
They are in form, dominant, and my goodness, they are a treat to watch. Atomic to the top left corner after the assist from Beast Mode. And G2 Stride. This is really, I don't even know if words can describe the level of consistently great performances we've seen out of this G2 team. It's been tough for anyone to stop them. LG's tried their best. You see Rlcs again on the ball, trying to make something happen. They played close series with G2, but this one definitely got away from them towards the later half. And you really wonder, I mean, where the limit is and what G2 can do. Luminosity, though, still trying to fight here. Cheese ends up getting a big goal to cut the deficit down to 3 with 21 seconds left. But we'll see if they can make something happen here. They're pretty good kickoff stacks.
Not so much. Cheese does reach the 40-goal plateau, however. So good on him for that. But what a performance out of G2. We talked about the numbers very briefly for their series total. 11-0 to start this season. They're going to keep it going. 12-0. And an overall 42-11 record. They're up there around 85%, which is astronomical. And G2 Stride have just walked to another championship.
Another championship and qualifying for the Copenhagen Major. And this team looks to represent NA well, the way they are performing. G2 Stride, so much to be said about them individually. Each player so good. Beast Mode, shot 3 for 3 in that last game. Always consistently solid on offense. Dale and Atomic just feel like sometimes a triple threat. The way they are moving up and down the field, able to move the ball so well. And they take another one, back-to-back regional champions.
Unreal. I mean, when we saw it a couple of weeks ago against Gen G, thought, okay, maybe it's a matchup thing. Maybe they just match up really well. Maybe Gen G was tired. Maybe something. No, this G2 team is actually that good. Just for context, I throw out that 85% number. Even Vitality with Zen was like 68 something when they won their couple of regionals with Zen. I just throw that out there. This G2 team looks like they are primed and ready to compete with the rest of the world. And they will get that opportunity in a month's time in Copenhagen. But first, they've got one more regional to play. And before that, we got to send things back to the desk. And then we'll hear from one of the winners.
The undisputed kings of North America are G2 Esports. There is no question that we will entertain. Your appeals are denied. They are the best team in the region. There is nobody who can present any argument otherwise here. Luminosity gave it their best effort, and hey, they got a game off of them. Finally, the team losing in the grand finals in North America has actually won a single game. But it was just that one game here, Gibbs. It was just one game.
But Luminosity, again, last time Qualifier won in the quarterfinals. They had their moments in game 2 and 3, and they couldn't capitalize. here again, they're down 1-0 in the series. Game 2, they hit the goal of the tournament. And Rlcs with the aerial demo, Magic Bear with the aerial dunk. Then what do they do right after that? Wide open net, then a kickoff goal, and then a double whiff on defense to lose that game. They were up 2 goals. They lost it 4-3. And at that point, you're like, well, it's over. Like, you have to capitalize when you're the underdog versus a huge favorite. They didn't do it there. They did fight back a bit in Game 4, James, but it wasn't enough. G2 is just too good.
I think even in that Game 4, and to your point in Game 2 as well, Luminosity very much could have easily won that game. But G2 showed they were mortal. I think Luminosity, they took a game off G2. They almost took that Game 2. They showed that G2 can bleed and that they do have, or they can be exploited and they can be beat. But even still, Luminosity, who's been maybe putting up the best performances against G2 that we've seen, they still could only manage to get a single game win. I think it's clear right now that G2 is head and shoulders above everybody else in North America right now.
It wasn't close. It wasn't entertaining. Like, I mean, there was a degree to which it was like, oh, this is going to happen again. I felt for the LG fans. I was watching. I was kind of keeping track of some of the watch parties on the side, and there was a lot of hope. And there was, I mean, Cheese tried his best, but this was, I think, the most stunted we've seen their star in an event so far.
Yeah, but it's just to show the quality of G2, right? Like, sure, it was a little bit of a boring series because they're so dominant right now, and no one is close to them. Sure, they had their moments. That was not perfect, but they show up. Like, it's going to be so hard to win 4 games.
It was closer than the Gen G series, and I think many people have Gen G at number 2, but now you've got to wonder, like, how do you define number 2?
Yeah.
Is it the team that comes closest to beating G2? Is that the number 2 team? Or is
and now they're tied in points, too. They're tied,
So it just makes you wonder, really, who is that number 2 in North America?
Yeah.
Because it's clear, we know without a doubt who number 1 is.
It was number 1. The G2 fans in chat say they were entertained, and it was an entertaining series. I'm excited to hear from one of the actors in that performance. Let's hear from Atomic.
Hey y'all, it's Lemon Kiwi. G2 are your North American regional champions once again. I'm joined by the longest standing member of G2 and Atomic, fresh off a win. Congratulations. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, thank you.
So you're a 2-time qualifier champion. You and the team are looking incredible. Everyone's talking about it. What does it mean to you, though, to be part of the best team in North America and to be a champion here again?
It feels really good because we know like the work we put in and, you know, getting back to the top, and just feels really good. It's been a while since we've been winning, but now that we're back, it feels really good.
I'm glad you're starting to get used to it. We're starting to get used to it too. And statistically, your team has the best defense in North America. Talk to me about what makes your team so special and how do you work with Daniel and Beast Mode on the field?
I think on defense, they're both amazing players, and like, even if we make a mistake or get in a bad position, it's never over because we can make like any goal line save or, you know, pre-jump any shot that they have, and so it's like never just a direct goal, and so we're never out of a bad defensive situation until the other team scores.
You guys make it look easy for sure. It looks frustrating almost to play against you with how good that defense is. And I had a good laugh with your coach talking about, is North America a one-team region? He didn't seem to agree. How many teams do you think represent North America well?
I mean, honestly, I still fully believe like in Gen G. I think they get their confidence back. You know, they can win any series against any of the best teams in the world. And same with M80. Honestly, like I feel like if they just figure out, you know, the things they need to figure out, they'll be contending just like us in Gen G as well. Like, and honestly, maybe SSG as well and LG on their day as well. Like, there's a lot of teams that if they get their confidence going, they can, you know, upset.
Yeah, that third place spot, it just still feels very open, but I'm looking forward to watching more of your rivalry between G2 and Gen G. So you've clinched your spot to go to the major in Copenhagen along with this qualifier. Where do you think your team stacks compared to the international competition?
I mean, you know, we won't know till we play them, and obviously this game, like, you got to have confidence. I'm gonna assume we're number 1 until we're proven otherwise, but you know, we're definitely not, you know, like thinking all these teams are bad. We think there's like 6 or 7 like teams that can win the major, and it's about just grinding and then showing up on the day, which anybody can do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if EU has clinched anything or who has clinched there, but I know Team Falcons have, and they're looking very scary. I'm looking forward to watching Mina go against NA. But hey, congratulations on this final and Copenhagen, of course. What message do you have for the fans and the people that have supported you so far?
Honestly, just thank you for, you know, sticking through us while we didn't have the best season compared to the season that we won more in 21-22 last season, but G2 fans are the most committed fans that I've seen of any org that I've been on, and it's really nice because you never, even when you're feeling down, you know, you have those messages to keep you up and not just fall into like a rut. So thank you for supporting us, and I hope we can make you proud by continuing to win.
Well, you should be proud. You're at the top. You stay at the top. Your fans are behind you. I know Teammates is going to be behind you on the First Touch podcast, but thank you again for the interview and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
G2 clinch a spot at the first major with their 4-1 victory over Luminosity. They will play in Copenhagen.
What a
See if
pro.
they can take home that title.
Yeah, and honestly, there was a quote in there. I don't know if you caught it, Gibbs and Wei Feng. I will assume we are number 1 until proven otherwise. To me, what
Yes,
that
sir.
shows is confidence. And Atame actually said brought up confidence multiple times. And I think for me, confidence is what I took from his interview. Like, you can tell out on the field how much confidence that G2 is playing with, but also the respect where he feels that Luminosity, Space Station M80, these teams from North America, if they can maybe believe in themselves, have that extra layer of trust and belief in their own abilities, maybe they can get up there and upset. But overall, I think one thing that we do know is man, G2, they're confident in themselves and they're playing like it.
And I would be confident if I had 32 points as well, back-to-back qualifier champions. They've clinched their spot. Gen G sitting there at 21 points. They will clinch if they get 2 wins in Swiss next time around. Luminosity needs a top 4 to clinch without anything else happening. Then a bunch of teams below them, all the way up to number 10. If you win qualifier 3, you clinch. That's all you have to do. I mean,
wild.
obviously that's going to be very difficult because there's a G2 there, but it is in your hands all the way down to Shopify Rebellion. If you win qualifier 3, you will go to the major. So it's going to be a lot of fun going on in qualifier 3. We got a race for those top 4 spots. You won't want to miss it.
We'll see it all go down, folks. It'll be another wonderful qualifier here in 2 weeks' time. But before we get to that, got to talk about the MVP of the day. Thanks to Ally. Ally partnering here with the RLCS again. The Ally MVP of regional number 2. It's going to be Daniel. I mean, he performed on every side of the ball here, James. Defense, offense, assists. But watch this. Off the wall, off of a clear, straight back to Atomic. An amazing play. He did it all today.
Certainly, Daniel. And that was maybe the play of the day from Daniel for me. Not because it was so mechanically incredible, just because of how casually he took out 2 players from Gen G. That play embodied the confidence and swagger that Daniel and G2 brought for the entirety of this event, the entirety of this season so far. Daniel deserves, I mean, you could really give it to anybody on G2, but Daniel, very worthy of it. An incredible Ally MVP, and what a day for G2 once more.
Yeah, Daniel, he led his team goals, assists, and saves, or at least he tied for goals and assists, but we'll count it as number 1, but saves as well. He was all over the field. Daniel, a phenomenal performance throughout this tournament, but yeah, it's a 3-headed monster on G2. We all know that. But for this time, we'll give it to Daniel, and man, what a show in G2, unmatched.
A well-earned title there, folks. And if you want to see Daniel play in person, make sure you get your tickets to Copenhagen, folks. The show days where you can watch will be March 30th and 31st. Head to billetlund.dk if you want to get those tickets. They're going fast. Make sure you get them, folks. And with the conclusion of regional number 2, we now only have one more online event before we are set for our major and the end of split number 1. The season is plugging along here. We got the first split nearly concluded. Hard to believe, James. We're getting close to halfway through.
Yeah, it's really flying by, and things are starting to coalesce into how things will play into the World Championship. I think it's clear even this early that G2 is going to be there and in that conversation. And now the questions about Europe, will anyone other than French players be able to make these majors? It's going to be pretty amazing. Even just other storylines about OCE, it's with how dominant Power is, will we finally see OCE be able to step up on the international stage? All I know is that I am ready for these lands coming up this year.
Me too. It's been too long. It's exciting. Let's get to Copenhagen already, folks. We got more Rocket League online, though, before we get there. Next week's schedule. Make sure you catch that First Touch podcast at 11 p.m. Pacific here on twitch.tv/Rocket League. That'll be going on Wednesday, February 21st. And then in the weekends, we get the Europeans back in the house. Top 4 of Europe with some of the best Rocket League we've ever seen last week. You will not want to miss the European second regional there. That one will be starting at 5 p.m. Central European time. Also, right here, twitch.tv/Rocket League. Folks, it's been wonderful. We appreciate you all being here. That's our show. We'll see you guys live for Europe next week. Remember to catch First Touch. See you guys out there. Stay safe. Goodbye.
I get stuck behind. I'm at a friend's place, gonna stick around. The puzzle pieces fit for now. The things you said replay loud. There are people outside living their lives. Thousands of stories move through time. There's only one face on my mind. All I want is you. All I want is you. There are people outside living their lives. Thousands of stories move through time. There's only one face on my mind. A century long ago.